There we go. I'm doing it. I'm doing it for real style. And then TikTok is live. TikTok chat is popped out. Excellent. So the order for today is technically Bone Lord, Hellcat, Terrence. We only have 3 people. Bone Lord, I already see you, so we're going to start with you. Hellcat, I presume, will be along shortly, but if Terrence gets here before Hellcat, we're gonna do whoever's here first. There's no fucking desktop source on TikTok. Why not? What happened? Don't give me recursive streaming. Give me the display capture we've had on for the last year. Thank you. Oh, this is terrible. Oh, this is terrible. This isn't even... it's not scaled for anything anymore. Crazy, they don't even have me up here. That's hateful. That's hateful. Anyway, all right, hold on. I have to find an example deck to make sure that the vertical layout for TikTok is scaled appropriately to see whatever card we're talking about. All right, and then we'll make you bigger. And there we go. Nice and bigly. Nice and bigly. Okay. Where the hell did Twitch chat go? No, Bone Lord. All 3 of us are here. Perfect. Okay. For the first time ever, I now have all 3 chats open at the same time. Theoretically, that means I will miss nothing ever. Arik, thank you for the 200 bits. Mr. Hound, what's your opinion on Thrumming Hive Pool, the new Sliver support card? Personally, I believe it's too slow at 6 mana for 2 creatures each turn. I agree with that, and really, that's pandering. They're just pandering to the Slivers players, being like, hey, don't worry, we've not forgotten about you. It's gonna be okay. It's slow and bad, but Slivers are generally too fast and good already, and so I think it's fine if they get a slow and bad and cute thing. Also, White Tiger, thank you for the 6 months at Tier 1, my friend. Happy half-anniversary. Welcome back to the dog home. On my way to Pittsburgh, so I'll be lurking, but hope the stream goes well. Sure it will, buddy. Okay. Hello, Munchie. Hello and goodbye, King of Ghosts. There was somebody who stopped by the stream and already had to leave, but thank you for stopping by. What's up, Nate? It's Grave Robber. It's not yet time to edge eternally. The eternal edging is going to happen when Elk gets here, which is going to be in like an hour. So here's what's going to happen. We're going to do, it's manual ad break time. Then we're going to get right into it with Bone Lord's deck roast. Okay, so clicking anything on that screen dumps my chat windows. That's good to know. It feels so bizarre that we're not starting at 12:32 p.m. Terrence, do you want to know why we didn't start at 12:32? We didn't start at 12:32 because the plan for today was to start at 11 a.m. sharp. The plan for today was I got home at 10:45, prepared for stream, and then Z told me, babe, we gotta go to Gen Con for reasons that I shall not disclose. And so I then spent 30 minutes arranging a trip to Gen Con on a 1-week notice, throwing up about how expensive that was, and then turning the stream on. Caden, I do rate decks on Architect, but generally my first move is I export your deck to Moxfield or any other real deck builder. What's your opinion on the Spider-Man spoilers? It seems like it will be a very simple set targeted for new players. Spider-Man is going to have the exact same problem that every other Universes Beyond has, which is people that are interested in the crossover are going to see it and go, ooh, shiny toy. And then they'll start playing the game, and the game lacks a good on-ramp. some people have already criticized these cards because they're not going to be standard viable, which is like so fucking whatever, man. But the point they do have is, if you see, oh, that's a cool card and it's my favorite comic book character, playing standard sucks. Playing standard is a way to punch all of the enjoyment you might have had with this game directly out of you. And Commander is really confusing and complicated because it's a legacy format that we have very poor rules onboardings for. And so I think it's simple, presumably because it's going to be new players, and presumably so that people can really easily build Commander decks around them. Terrence, yeah, it was fun. Hey, thank you, Refry. I appreciate that. Sealed or draft is a great entry point for new peeps. I disagree with that heavily, Yenshin. I think sealed, I will cede a few points on. Draft, never. Like, draft is the easiest way to just go like, oh wow, I'm an idiot who knows nothing about this game and now I'm being beaten up for it. Like, sealed, you can at least go, but even sealed, you have just the craziest blowouts ever, because you have people looking at all the cool cards and they're like, oh, what can I do with all these cool cards? And the actual thing that leads you through a sealed game is just going, all right, which colors have the most removal? That's what we're doing. No, Caden, the decks we're doing today, because we have we're doing an Edge of Eternities review with another YouTuber after this. And so the decks we are doing right now are Ko-Fi reviews. Project FMK stands for Fuck, Marry, Kill. Hellcat, you can go third, yes, but the latest third is gonna be in like 40 minutes. And so if that will also be an issue, we should just move you to like this Sunday or something, because we can also do that without any difficulty. You only need 20 minutes. Perfect. Oh Lord, oh my God, you guys, the Windows situation on my monitors right now, I'm feeling like Lex Luthor. Okay, we're gonna do the random FMK and then Bone Lord, we're getting you. So first, see what we get. Okay. Human Soldier. Not really my type, but I've learned that beggars can't be choosers. Oh, they can transform. Oh, it's a planeswalker. Kill. I don't give a shit. Kill. Kill. What do we got next? Hey, Ladle Lover DS, thank you for the raid, my friend. I hope you were having a good stream. Okay, we get another humanoid. We get a Falconwrath Noble. I'll risk creature marriage to see if I high roll. I'll fuck this. I'll fuck the Falconwrath Noble. Ty, that is a downside of TikTok stream. Like, the TikTok stream only allows me to show so much. If you want to see the whole screen, you either need to go landscape or you got to join us on Twitch or YouTube. And then I'm marrying a Keldon Warlord. Hell yeah. That's fine. Not my personal favorite, but that's very lucky. I'm down with that. Okay, for anybody that has not been to one of these before, I'm not even going to do that. We're just going to get straight into the deck roast. Fuck all that preamble shit. Bone Lord, come on down. This is a spooky deck. The deck currently functions as an enchantment/curse deck designed to raise zombies and spirits in large numbers and tack on a few debilitating enchantments to a particular player to slow them down while Ariete drains everyone. My ultimate hope is to get this deck to a point that it can reliably pump out the auras and curses to quickly start overtaking the table while spamming out hordes of undead to get a bit down and dirty in the trenches if necessary. Okay. This one, you know, I normally drag people for their hot topic dreams, but this one, very normal one. Who doesn't love warlocks? Okay, the page isn't found. What are we doing, Bone Lord? Did we make the deck private? I've definitely done that by accident. Oh, I had to send in a revision. Okay. So we have an email that I'm looking for. I think I found it. Ah, okay, got it. New deck. Spooky/scary, so slightly better than the one we were going to be looking at. Arden has a problem. After digging too deep in places he wasn't supposed to be in, Arden found himself cursed with a powerful vampire after his very soul. Oh, I know you've got a Wattpad account. But there's hope. All Arden needs to do is let you hold this curse for him and Senger will take your soul instead. Thanks, bud. Deck's entire gimmick is to layer on a series of curses that shut down a target player and wipes out all their creatures, then have Senger roid out from that board wipe, then have Arden pass the curses to another player while Senger kills the previous curse holder. The deck performs the gimmick on a turn cycle of setting up on turns 3, 4, 5, 6. Turn 7, someone is dead. Turn 8, next player dies. Turn 9, game over. That sounds more like a D&D campaign narration than how an actual Magic game will play out, but I'm willing to investigate. So we're doing Orzhov curses. We just immediately ripped all of the tutors for what are presumably some of the worst cards in the game. So we have Arden. So this will allow us to move our auras and curses in bulk. That is very useful. Bone Lord, I saw you leave a note that you were new to Magic, and so I think you've probably simply not learned that curses suck donkey balls. There is one, and I haven't... Yeah, I don't see it here, but I'm going to assume this is the card that you saw and your eyes lit up like Lex Luthor on Christmas. Is this the premise of our deck? What if I resolved Overwhelming Splendor? Oh yeah, perfect. Okay. So then the difficulty that we're getting in is we've gone bracket 3. We've taken a relatively weak strategy because, and I knew you were doing Overwhelming Splendor the moment you said shut down a player, because this is the only curse in the game that can shut down a player. The close second is maybe Curse of Conformity. You can turn off people's like utility creatures, but even that's 5 mana and they still have blockers. But outside of this one and Overwhelming Splendor, most of the curses are just like, hey, I'm gonna pay you $5 to go hit James. Now, paying somebody $5 to hit James, very reasonable political angle. Shut a player down, this shit does not. So let me see what we're currently using. I know it looks cursed, but I swear it's not. Ooh. $7 spent like somebody with a truly incredibly frail 6-mana commander. So when something dies, we get counters on this guy. When somebody loses the game, we gain life. So we want people to lose life from a really high life total to gain a lot of life, although that seems like it's probably just collateral damage to having a really big flying guy. Arden's useful, mostly used for Voltron, which I see, yeah, we're doing here a little bit. We have 38 lands, not unreasonable. Also, Unseen Door, thank you for the Prime sub. Welcome back to the dog home for the 4th month, my friend. A Never-Ending Curse. All right, Greater Oromancy. You definitely just looked at the art and you were like, oh my god, it's so cute. What if I used it for evil? Oromancer. Okay, so this is our reanimation, rehandimation, all that shit. Curse cheapening. Dog, you got 4 curses. Fuck, shit, bitch, damn. That's all you got? That's it. We got fuck, we got shit, we got bitch, we got damn. And that's the whole deck. Oh! I see why you got tutors now. Bro needs a college. A tutor will not fix this situation. Okay, so this is actually, Bone Lord, I think this is a beautiful learning moment for you. Because these are very fun curses. 4 cards does not a deck make, no matter how many, like, no matter what support you are putting in, no matter how, like, cool you think those cards are, no matter how many times you say, but this is the flavor. If the thing your deck can do relies on that few cards, and you don't have just card draw engines out the ass, like, this is an incredible artistic execution of fuck this one guy in particular. But you are on some broke Lex Luthor stuff. If you haven't seen Superman 2025, go see it. But what's happening now is if Lex Luthor tried to exist while not being a billionaire. So I had others before, but the issue I was getting was it was getting shot a lot, so I started narrowing it down. And that is a consequence of you are trying to bring an easy bake oven into Hell's Kitchen. Particularly at bracket 3, even at bracket 2, this strategy is going to struggle because you've picked partners that aren't going to give you the best card advantage. It's not terrible, right? Black has a lot of card draw. White has more card draw than people think. But we don't have blue. We are doing or ideally we would be doing a pseudo enchantress thing, which green is also really good at. I see you've picked a very, very healthy amount of card draw, so much that at some point this tag became copium. It's not 52 card pickup. At some point this tag emotionally has become, it has to be on top. And so what it looks like this deck is going to spend all its time doing is digging an 18-mile hole looking for oil. And oh my god, yeah, and this one doesn't even do anything. It's just a tutor for the 3 curses that matter. So that, and there's really only 2 curses that matter. Curse of Exhaustion, half the people at the table don't care about this. If you put this on the Is It player, yeah, whatever, we're gonna scream. You've put Kryptonite up our butts. Like, the Dinosaur player is going, oh, that's what I was gonna do anyway. That's crazy. And then they kill you. So, like, does not work on crypto. So what we have is an Overwhelming Splendor, Curse of Death's Hold pseudo combo. I hesitate to call it a combo because it obviously doesn't win the game, but you saw this interaction and you went, oh my god, that's such a cool interaction. How do I build a deck around it? And at that point, your brain has to just go, like, we have to extremely loud, incorrect buzzer as soon as we go, what if I made this one interaction my entire deck? It's the same thing as when you hear a really... This is the same exact thing as when you hear a really catchy song and you go, this is my personality now. It doesn't work. It never ever works. I think the story you wove has potential. Having this be the narrative backstory you want to work with is not unreasonable, but if you were going to do this at any bracket, the only bracket that it's going to have any level of success at is bracket 2. Because this is a supremely, supremely weak thing you are trying to do. The other thing you have to realize, this does nothing to anybody that doesn't need a creature to win. Because in bracket 3, we start to look at combo decks. We start to look at decks that don't want to compete on board. Like bracket 2, most people want to win through damage. It doesn't always have to be combat damage, but maybe 90% of the wins you see in a bracket 2 game are coming from damage. Most of that damage is coming from a creature source, whether it is a creature hitting you or a creature's ability triggering or a creature's ability being activated. So this combo of Curse of Death's Hold and Overwhelming Splendor will shut off somebody at bracket 2. And then the problem is, okay, so I did try playing it at bracket 2, but the guys in my LGS said it was a little too cruel to precons that can't shoot it that much or try to block it. And when I go to bracket 3, it just gets hit with miniguns. Yeah, I think the bracket 2 friends are being babies. An important thing to understand is, like, 8 mana spells do fucked up stuff. If you were doing things to put Overwhelming Splendor into play for 1 mana, I don't even know how you would do that. This is an example number, arbitrary, but if you were doing, okay, turn 2, I put Overwhelming Splendor on you, yeah, that's too cruel for bracket 2. I would agree. So Misfortunes does cheat out the curses. Yeah, 5 mana, we're not talking a lot about cheating anymore, but I am somewhat sympathetic to that. That just means that you drop Curse of Misfortunes. But none of this gets away from the central problem of my deck does a fat fucking lot of nothing while I wait for my thing to come out, and my thing is tremendously boring. They're saying cruel, what they mean is boring. Because I don't know how many... Like, here's the type of thing I actually think you're missing. I don't think it's a curse. I don't think it's a tutor. I don't think it's card draw. It is sufficient knowledge of Greek tragedies. It is a horse. If Scryfall would ever load, please, one time. So it's this. What you are missing is symmetrical token makers that can allow you to have things to do with Sengir outside of having your curses on the field. Because right now, if you ramp out to Sengir, you're going to be on a board where, like, people are only really going to want to spend removal on Sengir. And if you... No. You said more stuff to buff him up. No, you are not catching me recommending Voltron. What I am recommending is you want to fill the board with more fodder to get more collateral damage deaths. That will in turn buff Sengir up, but it does not do whatever I can to buff Sengir up. It is, yes, tokens to Kaboom. Yes. So we've seen this with other so let me workshop other 2-card interactions that I think would please you, that are not going to match thematically with what you currently have, but genuinely what you currently have, it should be a webcomic, not a commander deck. So look at a Crow and Horse. Bunch of opponents make 1/1s. Wow. Ooh, isn't that cool? Wow. Wowee. Hey, thank you, Read the Meat. I appreciate you coming by. And then, I mean, goddamn, if Scryfall would fucking... Thank you. Thank you, Scryfall, for being a good website. And then you hit them with the yippee wahoo. Now, importantly, because Sengir is getting 2 counters every time something dies, he will always outpace whenever this Massacre Girl board wipe comes down. Like that mechanical combo of I give everybody a bunch of 1/1s and then I Massacre Girl, that I think is actually achieving the mechanical outcome that you want to have, which is, what if Baron Sengar was so big and authoritative and he told you to sit down and die? That's going to make you a huge Baron Sengir. It's going to fill the board with chump blockers to avoid you getting murdered with hammers. There's a lot of other cards that will also benefit from creatures dying. I think there's Malakir Coldblade, but he's a really bad one. Slaughter Specialist is what I'm thinking of. Zan, thank you for the 100-bit cheer. Yeah, Elk will be here in near an hour. No, we don't need Toxrill. Toxrill is also not in our color identity. This is another thing. We make 1/1s for everybody. Whenever an opponent's creatures die, we get a big thing. And what this will allow you to do, you can do almost like power-based aristocrats, where rather than doing drain effects, you give out a lot of 1/1s that you will either kill with your curses, or you can kill with board-wide effects like Languish. Come on. Come on. Come on. Ooh, Nox Tombstone Stairwell is actually pretty clever. Oh, I'm thinking of one. I'm thinking Illness in the Ranks or something. Yeah, Forbidden Orchard's a good one. This is honestly the toughest thing about this roast is going to be Scryfall can't fucking work good enough for me to recommend cards quickly. Alright, what's a different website I can use to look up cards? Because this is like, we will never get through stream if I have to wait 30 fucking seconds to look up a single... Scryfall's been awful. It's been like straight up, I think, a week and a half or 2 weeks of just every time I use it. Like I do, one of the things I do on Patreon is every week I build a deck. I give myself like a 30-minute timer and I record myself building a deck. And the last one, I had to like stop and I tried resetting my router and restarting my entire computer because Scryfall was too slow for me to build a deck inside half an hour, even when I knew the cards I wanted. Gert Locker, thank you for the Twitch Prime sub, my friend. Welcome to the dog home. Yeah, we are in like crazy... Okay. .app, you fucking... I hate these people, man. All right, so I'm now, I officially, as a creator, I officially beef with Manabox. Okay, so what am I looking up? Illness in the Ranks. This is going to achieve the exact same thing that you currently want, your overwhelming, your Curse of Death's Hold thing to achieve. All of the tokens that come in will die as a state-based action. This will make Baron Sengir bigger and bigger and bigger. But outside of individual card suggestions, what we want to do is we want your deck to feel like it is participating constantly. If we look at how the deck currently works, we go, okay, turn 2, what am I doing? What am I doing? I give Enchantment Shroud. Aren't I a cool guy? I play Arden. I spot remove something. I draw cards. And now me when I tutor. So I'm gonna get like... I have to get like Curse of Misfortunes. So I draw that. I put Curse of Misfortunes on somebody. This is turn 6 in a bracket 3 game. And so now our setup can begin. And if this doesn't work, if this gets counterspelled, if this gets removed the moment I play it, we're basically just dead in the water for the rest of the game, because everything we want to do, every single thing we want to do, is only in service of these 3 curses. And so what we want to do, rather than support, is expand the base of how many like funny theme cards can I have that do stuff? And we want to get that number up to like 15 to 20. 15 to 20 things that are in the theme of what I want to do, that drive my game plan forward, that can kill people. And so we can do things... We can do things like Genesis Chamber. This is another instance of, okay, I'm going to make a ton of 1/1s for everybody. We can do Clackbridge Troll. Make 0/1s for a target creature. We can... there's Hunted Bone Brute. There is Hunted Horror. There is Hunted Lamasu. There is not Hunted Witness. But these three will all make your opponents some level of creature. And then what we can do to clear those creatures out, there's Massacre Girl, there is Massacre Worm. Would you still love Massacre Girl if her mouth was even crazier? That is true, you can do Mobilize. But the thing, I think Mobilize achieves what they want a little bit less. It seems like Bone Lord wants to take away their enemy's hope. Now, it's good to have a self-contained strategy, but they do actually seem like they want to be pretty focused on how do I like do something to you that makes you sad and then benefit greatly from it. I don't think it's just a Maha deck, because Maha is very bad at converting that to a win unless you're doing a drain effect. Sengir is quite good at turning all of these dead tokens into, I have a huge guy and he's going to kill you now. Ah yes, we get to play Mommy. We get to play Grandmother Elish Norn, who will make all of my tokens good and all of your tokens limp-wristed and shitty. None of your tokens will be making the softball team. Yeah, we have Greater Oromancy. So we want one big vampire. And then we want... God, I have to return to Scryfall and use their advanced... Like, their functions are so good. The site just can't load right now. It's criminal. Wilson, in like 40 minutes, probably. This is almost certainly not gonna happen in white, but just in case. We don't need Butcher of Malakir, we don't need Sephiroth. This is the Brainworms getting all of you. There's Blade of the Blood Chief. This actually kind of works with Ardenn, only because it's an equipment. There is Battle of... No, this is You Control, which can kind of work if you're getting the tokens too, but it's probably not necessary. There's Cordial Vampire. There is Elenda the Dusk Rose. There is Eternal Thirst. That's actually another thing that can work with Ardenn, where you can turn something into backup vampire. This is You Control, which are not nearly as good as when something the opponent control dies. High Society Hunter cares mostly about creatures. There's Garbranth, who's a good menacer, but again, it's mostly stuff you control. There's Malakir Coldblade, which we talked about. There's Mausoleum Harpy, who doesn't do it until you have 10 permanents, but that's easier to get to in Modern Commander than it ever has been. It's not unusable. There's Obnixilis, the Unshackled. There is Patron of the Vein. The vampires are going to do a ton of work for you here. There is Sadistic Glee, which is another thing we can move around with Ardenn if we want to keep the whole Ardenn Baron Sengir thing going on. So that is what I would do. I would use, there's so many cards we can do that this will quickly become just building the entire deck, which we do not have time for. The functions you want to look for in Scryfall is put counters on stuff when other creatures die. Arden is going to keep you open to using enchantments and artifacts that do that, so you can use them pretty efficiently. And then you want to look for things that have the text, each player creates a 1/1, or like each opponent creates a 1/1, or target player creates 1/1s. And then you want to look for minus something board wipes. So the archetypal one for those, after, like, Massacre Girl is the best, but then you're going to do Meat Hook Massacre. This way you can control how many things die. It makes it way easier to politic, because you can just go, oh no, I'm not crazy, dude. I'm just killing the tokens. Why are you acting crazy? And that's what you want to do. So this deck, oh, we gotta close all these. Oh boy. This deck, I'm putting us down in YouTube short behavior. I think you were trying for a good thing. I just think you did not know enough about Magic to know the thing you wanted does not exist, because curses are dog ass. And I would probably take this down to bracket 2. I don't think you need, I think when you change the way this deck is trying to work, you're not going to need tutors. In this type of, I'm going to beat you to death with vampires game plan, very acceptable at bracket 2. Alright, we're going to hit the manual ad break, and then it's going to be time for Hellcat. Wilson the Ball Hog, thank you for the 100-bit cheer, my friend. Thank you. We also have a random FMK from Flimsy Chair, so we will satisfy that. Raven, I'm doing pretty good today. How are you doing? All right, let's see who's up first. Really, the only debate here is, do we marry or not? There's certainly other creatures in Magic that I would prefer, but what's the likelihood we're gonna hit them? Do I be greedy? Do I be a greedy boy? Or do I take the sweet druid lady who's been offered up to me? Oh, she searches for lands. I'm fucking. Not about to marry a ramper. Exactly, Ishtar. I didn't realize. I didn't read. All right, this is just water, so that's nothing. Jack Mac, once a month we do a free Twitch stream where you can submit decks for a raffle, and then I will roast them live. Otherwise, it is via Ko-Fi commission. Hell yeah, Bone Lord. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you laughed a little, or at least exhaled heavily through your nose. Okay, you know what? We're killing this. I don't know whether it's the book, the soldering pen, or the creepy guy, but we're killing this. Perfect. Oh my god, Scryfall, I'm trying to make bad content. Come on. I'm trying to do a terrible bit. Drop tower. I mean, this is a thing. I guess I'm married to the carnival. At least it's attractive. I won't apologize for that pun. I'm working on a red, white, black Angel Commander deck. Any advice? Ghost, I'm going to advise you to put the Kalia down and back away slowly. That's my advice. Hell yeah, Bone Lord. Have a good time at pre-release. Hellcat, it's your time, buddy. Oh wait, rant redeem from Nightsea. Let me go find that rant redeem. Why the fuck do MasterCard and Visa get to say what kind of porn people can buy? It should piss people off that the bank can go, no sexy nuns for you. I disagree with why it should piss you off, because I actually worked in the payments industry. What should piss you off is that Visa and MasterCard are run by old white bitches who hate fun and hate youths and hate children and hate anything that they think the youths are up to. But the idea of MasterCard and Visa getting to say what kind of porn you can buy makes total sense, unfortunately. Because MasterCard and Visa, generally, they're not like exploding the Brazzers studios and preventing you from buying it. They're saying, you can't buy this with our payment network because it's ours. And so we get to decide what's sold on it. Which is a pretty reasonable goddamn thing for a payment provider to do. Like if you opened a grocery store, it's pretty reasonable that you would get to decide what you stocked in that grocery store. What is ridiculous is that the people who, like the leaders of this industry who want you to believe, but like we exist under capitalism in a system where they want you to believe that the people in charge are smart and got there because they work so hard, are so like, God, there has to be a better word than lame. They're so susceptible to propaganda about moral degrade that they can be convinced that nearly anything is like in moral violation. Yeah, we can get into all the stuff about not consolidation, the thing Roosevelt busted. Monopoly. We can get into the things about monopolies, but like a genuine problem that we are going to run into is it is impossible to completely and fully categorize all porn to the extent that we can remove every bad actor without punishing the benevolent performers. It is a massive thing that I worked with. Well, I worked on projects that were being done for Visa and MasterCard to try to confront this issue, where when you look at OnlyFans, when you look at Pornhub, there was like a huge purge Pornhub did multiple years ago of a lot of their community submitted videos, because I think it was like nonprofits or something that worked against trafficking were going like, hey, you have minors on this site. You are not vetting the things that people are posting, and you are currently getting advertising revenue off of sex trafficking because you're allowing this to be hosted on your website. And so Visa and MasterCard very reasonably said, well, we're not going to help you process payments so that you can get paid for hosting illegal and immoral content. And the problem has come in that the line of what is immoral and therefore what should be illegal keeps getting pushed further and further and further down or up, depending on what types of analogies you like, by Republicans, where they're going from like, okay, well, there were videos of minors, there were videos of people who were being trafficked, obviously wrong. Universally, people can agree, yeah, that's wrong, that should not be hosted, people should not be profiting from that. And then the Republicans are going like, well, young people also shouldn't be allowed to watch pornography. because it will corrupt their brain. And also, nobody should be allowed to look at porn of gay people, because it will make them gay, based on the boner that I got when I looked at gay porn. And so we have all of these, we have these very reasonable rules that get set up that puritanical curmudgeons then take and use as a bludgeon and fashion into a weapon to fit their personal ideology. But the reason Visa and MasterCard get to say what type of porn you can buy is because it's totally reasonable for the payment networks to be able to be like, oh, hey, you're selling a thing that's actually like horrific and we're not going to help you sell it. Also, cool dude, Jahanis and Jaymors, thank you for the Twitch follows. Welcome to the doghouse. I don't believe Visa and MasterCard have morals here and there. I don't think you need to believe they have morals to believe that they can make strategic decisions about corporate image. Like, it's not that Visa and MasterCard are moral entities. It's that Visa and MasterCard know that they know of people in the world that are moral, and that if they are seen as sufficiently immoral, they will lose business. So it is not that they are genuinely moral, it's that they are attempting to use morality to appeal to their customer base. And I would hope that the entirety of their customer base is against the sexual exploitation of children. Can we at least agree on that point? And then it's everything is just like the bar is just getting moved in nefarious ways from there, typically by Republicans. They want the trappings of morality. Kind of like how conservatives are up in arms about the new South Park episode, but didn't bat an eye at the stupid little Biden's fart skit that was put out. Oh yeah, conservatism is all about very specific tunnel vision on outrage. Oh, Ishtar, they are for sure. They are, Visa and MasterCard are 100% a shitty duopoly. I am not defending their general business practices. I am only speaking through the specific example of why they're allowed, like the structure that makes it reasonable for them to have any involvement in what type of pornography is hosted. Okay, we're moving to Hellcat. We're fucking up the Edge review because we're making me vamp. We're going to Hellcat's deck review. The primer says, just like punch people, IDK. The only way that Voltron kinda works by making it a stacks deck attempted. Help me make a stacks lightning deck, please. My pod loves combo spellslinger, so that's what I need to counter. Okay. Alright, so Hellcat, where did you find the definition of stacks? Because this seems more like Casino Bender. I'm not saying it's not fun. I'm just saying if we went, oh boy, how do I control the board for my pink-haired side-shave mommy to beat everybody up, and you went, what if I gave them money? Alright, so out of the gate, not the most winning strategy, but definitely a funny strategy. Check political lackeys. No, I won't. I don't care how many stacks pieces you do have if part of your stacks deck involves being Oprah. I don't care. We can't just go, no, no, no. I have good cards in here somewhere. Alleyway stabbing. Okay, I like this. I like this. Dog, what the fuck? Again, I don't care. I don't care how large and huge your Dranith Magistrate is. This is a card slot. We're in bracket 3, where we don't have to use exclusively the best cards, but we do have to play in really heavily to our strategy. And things like this can genuinely break the deck. Like, bracket 3 has room for some pet cards. It does not have room for that many. And Voltron, that's a pet strategy, dog. That is a pet rock-ass strategy. And so most of your Voltron cards are so that's mostly for damage to each player. I do not believe that is a relevant priority. I don't think for I need to stop combo decks, spreading a little bit of damage is as relevant a priority as shutting off their combo ability in the first place. Is like, here's what I'll say. You have Super State in here. On the memory of my first pet lizard, you do not have this motherfucker. And this is who you need. You don't need Super State. They called that mass land destruction when I played that. They lied. That's not true. It's not true. Like, there's this, there is, Winter Moon, Massland Dickory, perhaps. But this is just like, your lands are still there. They are still untapping slowly. Stop playing non-basics. So that sounds more like you made... There's a version of this that worked well enough that your pod... Like, you turned your pod into crybabies. That is the eventuality of most stacks. That is what happened when Winota hit the CEDH scene. And because they are playing good decks, they respond to being turned into crybabies by shooting Winota. Stormblast, I think you can call it mass land denial, but I think if you believe Winter Moon is unsuitable for bracket 3, something probably needs to change about how you approach Magic for these people. Like, there's... I can see it more for Blood Moon, but if we talk about the spectrum of how interactable are these things, how much do they slow me down, going Trinisphere 2. Okay, so we made this work and your pod fucking crashed out. So now it's like, how do we make it work without making anyone mad, which is genuinely fucking impossible. Like, we can't it's going to be impossible to make a stacks deck that does not upset anybody, because the whole point of a stacks deck is I'm going to put my finger in your mouth to distract you from this knife in your chest. No, Bedlam's not going to fucking do it. Like, this doesn't... Like, Bedlam doesn't fucking matter because... Bedlam does not matter because we're playing against combo players. Like, who the fuck... Our combat damage is getting through anyway. No, Hellcat, it doesn't have to be screw them there. It doesn't have to be screw them then, right? We can go the route of malicious compliance. But if we're gonna go the route of malicious compliance, not being able to disable lands at all is extremely, extremely frustrating. Oh, you know what? Okay. Senate Death. So we have less than 10 stacks cards. This is why the deck does not work. This is why. And I'm sure you've had to pare it back because this pot is full of crybabies. But going, this is my Lightning Stacks deck, and we have fewer than 10 stacks pieces in the deck, and they're all pretty weak ones. That is like telling somebody that you are from Hawaii when you went there for a week-long vacation once when you were 7. Shy Lovebird, thank you for the elaboration. We are already going the route of how do we do this without fucking with lands. And so if we're going to do malicious compliance, Hellcat, one thing we need to investigate, because this idea, like the idea for this deck, may be good and may just be dead in the water because your pot is filled with babies. And it's going to depend on the answer to this question. Did they make you cut this? Gonna be honest, I forgot about that. Son of a bitch. Okay. We forgot about the best one in the game. Beautiful. I didn't use my game changers for that. You should be. You should be using your game changers for that. I mean, compared to Enlightened Tutor, like maybe this is searching for the One Ring, but this is one of the most powerful things you can do to shut off other people's game plans, because most things in bracket 3 are going to revolve around their commander. This guy is also going to be the litmus test for, can your pod handle this at all, or is it just always going to be a smell issue? Because this guy, very like Winter Moon, Magus of the Moon, not rules as written bracket 3, even though we got to be better than that, but not rules as written bracket 3. So it is understandable that they're going to lean hard on the rules and go like, well, you can't actually play that, or mom said you're a bad boy. If they crash out about Draneth Magistrate, this deck can't exist. I promise you, because if they crash out about Draneth, anything good enough to make this deck work is going to activate the butthurt contingency. So the other things we want to do, Draneth Magistrate is good. Other stuff we want to shut off, generally things that have not been paid for. Holy fuck, Scryfall. Holy fuck. So Vexing Bauble, this is going to be quite useful for you. It can eventually be a card draw when you no longer need it, but I think you're going to be spending mana all game. This will stop free interaction. This will stop... if there's any part of any combo that is, cast this thing for free. Boromir also has a similar effect. That's a good call out. Well, Hellcat, quite frankly, the stacks effects you do have are basically nothing. Like, really, all we have is... we have a handful of rule of law effects. We can cut Ghostly Prison. Yeah, because we should not be losing to anybody else on the ground. I think the fraud thing is not super unreasonable. You do not need Sigarda's aid. Where is the hammer? If you have fucking... like, what are we Sigarda's aiding? Police brutality is a crazy fucking tag, by the way. I don't think you actually want Silent Arbiter. I understand you kind of want to go Voltron-y. A strategy you need to consider is, what if my Voltron guys also helped beat you to death because I'm going to get the damage doubling? We are also missing the just generic beat the fuck out of you kings, Slicer and Alexios. I think you could put those in. You don't need to swap strategy. We don't need to swap strategy. No. I think I must be talking weird today, because this is 2 roasts in a row where I give a suggestion about like, hey, what if we put this little spin on it? And the person was like, I am totally down to change my life. We still on this. What I'm saying is, Silent Arbiter, I do not believe to be specifically necessary, because lightning will also do well with other creatures attacking. And so you do not want to limit yourself. You should be the one crashing out. You do not want to limit yourself to only having one creature swinging. Because if we ever get like let's say you're in a situation where you're worried somebody's going to have removal. If you get lightning out and you get Archon of Emeria out, put the Buster Sword on Archon of Emeria. Give them a harder decision about which thing they're going to blow up and which thing they're going to leave. Anyway, Boromir is another way to counter manaless stuff. If anybody is cheating stuff in, Containment Priest will be useful. But if people are not cheating stuff in, then I don't think you need Containment Priest. But this is, if a non-token creature is gonna come in and you did not pay for it, fucking die. Buster Sword does also have a like pseudo unfortunate non-bow with our free cast stoppers, but we can just choose not to cast it and use it as a card draw engine. And then I will second the calls for, we want to be slicing. You're going to have to politic good. You're going to have to be like, so a really important part of being the aggro player is you never want to be scary first, which is counterintuitive. You think, oh, I'm aggro, I need to like jump up quickly and make myself the archenemy and then just hope that I can hit hard enough to make it work. That's not true. You want to be the hero that is bravely going to the mountain to slay the dragon who played Rhystic Study. So Slicer and Alexios, well, the thing is, you don't even have to stop them from playing Solitaire. You just have to be like, hey, you have to attack. Maybe run it at the combo player that's wide open and takes double damage. You don't even have to be like, swing one of your good creatures. You just have to be like, swing this guy you are legally required to swing. So Slicer and Alexios. Are graveyards important? Because you also have access to Grafdigger's Cage and you have access to Rest in Peace. Alright, stuff we can cut. I think Bilbo's Ring, I think Trailblazer's Boots, and yeah, I think these two. Anything that is predicated on lightning's going to attack alone, I think you kill. It's not that we aren't comfortable with lightning attacking alone, it's that it's so rarely going to be the very best thing ever. Like maybe Duelist Heritage is the one we can keep because it requires the smallest like ongoing investment. And getting Double Strike on Lightning, great idea. It is just that we are probably going to have a lot of other guys that we want to be able to swing every turn. So, Super State, fuck that. Descent into Avernus, fuck that. Trailblazer's Boots, fuck that. Bilbo's Ring, fuck that. Silent Arbiter for sure, fuck that. Stonehewer Giant feels too slow. This feels like an example of thing where it's not a ridiculous synergy you're going for, but I would rather stop what other people are doing than just dream longer about what equipment I might get out. That's his guy. God damn it. Let me... There is an edge card I would love for you to look at. This is my guy. All right, we're going to pull you up on the real card lookup site. Oh, it's not spoiled yet. All right, this is officially my guy. Oh, it's slow. Oh, it's not the best card draw. Almost all of your stacked pieces are going to get hit by a Discover 4 trigger. Every time you pay into this artifact, you are going to hit a Voltron piece, or you are going to hit a stacks piece. This is like... I haven't looked at your curve officially. Yeah, So this immediately this must replace something. And then where is... Gosh damn it, I don't remember... Clarion Conqueror, this one, tremendously fucking good. Tremendously fucking good for stopping an Izzet Spellslinger player who's using treasures. I believe this shuts off treasures. I don't play enough good Magic to remember viscerally, but I'm pretty sure that's an... Wait, is it a mana ability and so it doesn't necessarily work like that? Because mana abilities, I think, sometimes get... Okay, Tift is saying, yep, that's enough for me. It does. Perfect. So this is another thing. There's an Izzet artifact combo deck. Well, hey, not anymore. Not any fucking more. And then I think another thing you want is... Spirit of the Labyrinth. Each player can't draw more than one card each turn. This does make you sad, but if any of the combo loops involve drawing their deck, or if any of these players are using, like, if anybody else is trying to tutor out the One Ring, this is typically another pretty good thing. Jay Arlington, thank you for the raid, my friend. Does white have more of those effects? I don't think they do. I think we have to go to blue if we want to get more of them. Anyway, Jay, I hope you're having a good stream. We're looking at a Lightning Army of One stacks deck and trying to figure out how to make it good enough without making everybody mad at us. This is the only one. I do like Tataru Taru because this is going to give you a way to at least benefit from it. Alms Collector is a different, worse version. We're in Boros stacks. We're kind of working with what we would get. Definite meta call. If this would work, it would work. You know your pod best. If they are typically drawing 2 or more cards at a time. But notably, this is not going to do shit to a Rhystic Study. And so if they are drawing cards on you by just, oh, I tutor Rhystic Study, I stick a turn 1 Rhystic Study, this ain't doing shit. And then the other avenue I would like to recommend you is you gotta be grabbing fate. You gotta be grabbing fate right now, dog. I swear. I promise you. Holy shit. Now when everybody sees this card, they go, oh my god, it's bad because a player is going to have removal, and because a player will have removal, they'll shoot my enchantment, then everybody gets their stuff back. And that's when very specific targeting comes in. That's when you being the hero, like, I'm not popping off, I'm stopping Dave from popping off. You can use Grasp of Fate, and you can look at hand sizes and go, who do I think has the removal? You get passed. The other two, I'm robbing you. Nevermore name their win con. That's pretty funny. I don't think it's particularly good, but it's very funny. And then we're just going to go to Winota list to see if there are any good stacks boys that I missed. We'll just go to the zoo. Oh my god, Joshua! Oh yeah, Aven Mind Sensor. This was called out earlier in the stream, but I did not have the presence of Mind Sensor to make it work. This is a good way to shut off tutoring. Prevent people from getting their win cons out quickly. It's also another flyer. You having flyers matters a ton. I don't know exactly what pod you are playing against, but most pods don't put respect on birds, and therefore they get shit on. I think Cathar Commander is mostly in this list to get flipped via Winota. It's not horrible to have creatures that we can sacrifice as part of our interaction package. Soulless Jailer, also not bad if people are doing graveyard loops or if people are doing exile loops. Or I guess not loops, but exile synergies. Dauntless Dismantler, also solid. Vryn Wingmare, also solid. Again, I am highly prioritizing flying. I think the only hit we have for Ranger Captain of Eos is Esper Sentinel, but the sacrifice mode on him is unfortunately very relevant. Even Interrupter, unfortunately Heat. I've been a hater of this card for a very long time, and I am forced against my will to accept, like, yeah, pretty good, pretty useful, pretty solid. I think if you have a pod of solitaire players, Yeah, really the greatest hits for stacks are going to be look at Winota lists, because those are CEDH level stack stacks, and then if you just ignore the stuff that is based on lands, probably going to work out. Some of this stuff won't work for you because Winota really likes to go wide-ish with non-human tokens in order to cause a bunch of Winota triggers. Those aren't going to be as relevant for you. I think the flyers are more important for you. And then if you could... I think your better card advantage engines are Discover. As long as we don't get too crazy on... We don't want to get too crazy on nobody can cast from exile, because then you can't discover. Caparocti is probably not going to do it. Wow, these are not good enough. Wow. Wowee, these cards all suck. Oh, Lord. Oh, never mind. I'm sorry I said anything. Alright, so we get long range sensor. Like, Atali's Favor is incredibly cute, but it's really playing a bad card in the hope that it magically transforms into a good card. Yeah, so I would keep long range sensor. Vexing Bauble does not then become bad. A thing we can sacrifice whenever we want, if we want to cast a spell for 1 mana, does not become bad. Even if we don't have the mana to sack it, the Discover 4 trigger just means we get to draw the next non-land card out of our deck. That's still good. We are tremendously happy with discovering. If there were more options to discover for 3 or 4 that were not horribly awful, we would play all of them, even on top of the we can't free cast this stuff, because we just go like, oh cool, stacks piece to hand, I'll play it next turn. That's what I would do. I would check out these Winota lists. We definitely have to expand our stacks a little bit more. I think we get less concerned with spreading damage all the way around and more concerned about, like, how do I start ramping up this damage quickly and not putting all of it onto Lightning's back. Oh, fuck no. Fuck that. Stop. Stop. No. So I'm going to put you... We're kind of monkey in the middle right now, Hellcat, mostly because I think we're doing Goldilocks right now. We came in way too hot with blood mooning people, and now we're way too soft. We're the only thing... We are basically like rule of law and a hot woman, and hopefully this is going to set you somewhere in the middle where we have a slightly better ability to lock down strategies. We're not so focused on swinging lightning alone, and we can beat people to death at a good pace. Of course, Hellcat, I hope you enjoyed. We're going to do the ad break, and then Terrence... Can I convince you to reschedule by like a day or two? If you cannot, it's totally fine. I'm good at talking fast. We're going to go to the ad break regardless. To the person in TikTok who asked if they could give me a link to one of their decks, not right now. We are doing Ko-Fi commissioned roast redeems right now. That name, the font is so small. There are so many L's and A's. I fear that my spirit will break. On a different day. We can reschedule. God bless you. You name the day. Other than next Wednesday through Friday, I am out of town. Otherwise, you tell me. Thank you very much for your patience and for your flexibility. I'm going to grab Elk Boy, because we were already late to when I told him we were starting. I don't think elk would have an aneurysm. I think they would sigh. Are my headphones on? They might not be. They don't sound like they're calling. Maybe? Please. Please one time. Please, 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 please one time. Between this Saturday to next Monday or later, then you will go tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Hush your mouth. Can you actually talk again so I can make sure we're balanced for Twitch?
Sure. Hi, hello.
Excellent. Okay. I'm gonna send you the stream together invite.
Okay, I need to get the thingy set up, but then I'll be ready.
Perfect.
Why is this not picking up Discord audio? Discord audio.
Start
Hooray.
virtual camera and then
I couldn't have said it better myself.
I figured out how to pop out YouTube and Twitch chat today.
Oh, that's nice.
And I figured out how to make the font size bigger. So my old person eyes are much, much happier now.
Yeah, when I dual streamed, I used Restream, and I'd pop that chat out. Oh, it was so nice.
I used it for a while, and then I had like 3 streams in a row where Restream crashed, and I couldn't restart it, and then I just quit. I know we're missing Elk's beautiful face, Terrence. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. We gotta connect all the wires, flick all the switches. Hey, it's Drag. Thank you for the Prime sub. Welcome to the dog home, my friend. Okay, much better on Elk volume. That's good to hear. Elk, did you watch any of the early access event for this?
I watched some of LSV drafting, yes.
How you feeling?
Well, so like, okay, pre-release is sealed,
Mm-hmm.
which it sucks to say this because like it sounds condescending as shit, but sealed is like the most like easy format in the world.
Elaborate on that stance. I agree, but elaborate for the people.
Okay, so sealed is you open up 6 packs and you build a deck out of those packs, and you'll get 1 free bonus promo rare as well.
Mm-hmm.
And what you do is you just separate all of your cards into piles, and you say, this pile's big, and you shuffle them together and you have a deck. Not really, but like you look at what piles are just the deepest, which one has all the removal spells and which one has all your bombs. And then you build your deck in those colors. And then you're done. That's sealed. You win. You go 3-0 if you do that. It's a very easy format.
I unfortunately agree. I experienced that when I did Final Fantasy sealed. I was just like, all right. I didn't even do bombs. I just did these 2 colors have the most removal. And then I had a Buster Sword, and I'll hope for the best.
Exactly. No, you just go with the ones that have the most removal. And then you're just like set forever. You're set forever. It's sealed is a game of removal and bombs. If you have more bombs and removal than your opponent, you win. It's just that easy, really.
Just like real life.
Exactly. Okay, my stuff's set up. Hooray.
Yippee.
Oh, I need to open up the Twitch stream together thing because I forgot I don't get in the silly thing. Ooh.
Oh, maybe that's something we can go over for the first 10 minutes. Are there any bombs you think are like out? Because a problem I've always had when I draft is I know the intellectual basis of, okay, get removal, okay, get bombs. My dumb little child brain will look at a card that is just straight up okay and be like, that's a bomb. Or one of those little cute ones from Mario. And so maybe we can talk about like these are what a bomb. This is a bomb. This is not a bomb.
Yeah, absolutely. Do I have a link to the PowerPoint as well?
Fuck, no you don't. Let me drag it off screen so I don't share that link with the entire stream. Hell no, you don't have a link. There we go. Now you have
Beautiful.
a link.
Dink, 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 dink. Can I get your philosophy on like why you don't have a blue sky? Or like anything?
Give me a few minutes. Give me a few seconds in the brain chamber to try to say this concisely, because I love to say it rage baity, but I do have an actual reason. Because my content is so often exaggeratory and so often verges on rage bait to begin with, I fear that if I gave myself access to a platform where I could post anything, where I did not have to watch a full minute of it back first, I would slowly become callous, rude, and all of the things that I currently try to lampoon.
I see.
I lack the faith in my own self-discipline to not just... What is Blue Sky called tweeting? Just posting?
Yeah, just posting.
Oh, that's never gonna last. I worry that if I just blew whatever I was thinking about, I would just start saying dumb shit unironically. It feels a lot like saying YOLO to me. You say it as a joke, and then it gets you. So I think if my content were a little bit more... If I was less dancing on the edge all the time with the stuff that I posted, I would feel safer about being like, oh yeah, I'll post some dumb shit on Blue Sky, who cares? But I already post some dumb shit everywhere I go. And so if I did it on like TikTok, I am watching that entire video back before I post it, and it has to sit with me for at least a moment. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I love getting drunk and posting on Blue Sky. That's fun. Hang on, I have to close my window. I just realized.
No, Scryfall Advanced. You will load. You will load. This is our goddamn show now, Scryfall Advanced.
Hang on, I have to turn off the window capture again. Did you send the docking?
Probably.
Probably.
If you look again in like a couple minutes, yeah. It's definitely... Yes, I had already sent the docking invite. Already and previously I had.
Beautiful. All right, let's not accidentally face reveal. Yes, OBS virtual camera.
Zan, thank you for the 100 bits. It is time for roasted venison. And yeah, Terrence, I would just get into arguments with Republicans all the time.
Luckily, Blue Sky's pretty devoid of those.
Oh, thank God.
It's a really nice place to be. Unlike every Twitter post, which has like 7 blue check marks underneath it that are just like rage bait in a row. To get like the 5 cents from Elon.
Redder has a personal question. What are your studies? Well, first of all, I am a decrepit old man. I am 29, about to turn 30, so I'm well outside my school days. I went to college and got my degree in chemical engineering, and I proceeded to do none of that. Just not a fucking day of it.
Yeah. I'm old as dirt as well. I'm almost 23, and I got a degree in studio art. I have a nice little
Hell yeah.
I have a cute little associate's degree in art, which I've done nothing with, I think. I don't know. Like, I learned some cool things about art, I guess.
I learned some neat shit. Okay, I've managed to open up the fucking draft set. I'll send you the Scryfall link for the syntax.
Hooray. Hoorah.
And we're obviously not going to go through all of these, but I do think it would be useful to maybe point out like 2 to 4 overarching examples of this is the type of thing a young pre-release player might see and be like, ooh, that's such a good card. That'll be one of my bombs. No. We're wagging our fingers. That is maybe a firecracker on a good day.
Yeah, uncommons are getting better and better, honestly. I am like warming up to more and more like uncommons being a bomb in quality.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully Scryfall will load and open.
One of the ones I already hate is Tezzeret Cruel Captain. People are going to do stuff with this as their commander. Maybe this will do something in a 60 card format just because it has a tutor stapled to it and it can untap stuff. In Limited, this is a 3 mana fog. This is a 3 mana. I play this. I take no combat damage because next turn my opponent beats the shit out of Tezzeret instead of me, and it achieves nothing else.
Yes, I do not know if I would ever put Tezzeret in a limited deck. Ever. Mm-hmm. It's an okay card if you have a ton of artifact creatures. Mm-hmm. Because it's 3 mana, you get a +1/+1 counter every combat. That's the biggest mode. Like you give Vigilance and a +1/+1 counter.
Yeah. And then if we look at if we compare that to like further to the right, Esteli Reclaimer. Big body, medium body. It flies. It can potentially recur something. I think the recursion is nice, but in Sealed, what has historically made something a fucked up card for me is, can it reliably hit me? Is its toughness higher than 3? I'm freaking out at that. I'm freaking out. You play something with a higher toughness than 3 that can hit me most turns, I'm done.
Yeah. Esteli Reclaimer, oh my god, get back a Banishing Light that they disenchanted. Oh my god, they are dumpstered, right? That being said, it doesn't return creatures, which has me a little bit concerned. Okay, hang on, pause. A 5 mana 5/4 flying is good. We're already there. I'm already here for it. Mm-hmm. It's just a little concerning that it doesn't impact the board beyond that. But it is definitely bomb material, for sure, if you have a deck that can build around it.
Yeah. It's the type of thing where I might play it without synergy just to have a big flying creature. That is how good flying creatures have been down here in the depths of like bronze and silver limited play on Arena. I might take it just to have a big flying creature if I had good non-creature, non-land permanents that I thought were going to go into the graveyard for any reason. I would always play around this card.
Yeah, for sure. Any card that can give you a possible 2-for-1 is just absurdly strong. Sticking with white cards for just a moment, a big like bomb in my mind is Starfield Shepherd. That's the nuke in my mind for like, I am putting this in my limited deck if I have it. Like if I have the bones of a good white deck and Starfield Shepherd is in my pool, I'm probably going to be white. Just because it is 2 mana, I get a basic or a 1-drop. Mm-hmm. And then it's 5 mana, I get a 3/2 and then a basic or a 1-drop. So it's a 3-for-1 and I don't have to do anything. And then it's a flying 3/2 beater.
Yeah, let's also, I'm going to step back to the limited format in general. Limited is like wars in the 1800s. The side that can just throw more shit at the problem usually tends to win. If you can spend more mana than the other player, if you can cast more spells than the other player, you typically take that game. And so another way to identify bombs is, does this make me an extra permanent, or does it draw me a card? If it does that, it's probably good. After that, you just have to investigate how much mana do I have to invest to get that, and then if it's making you a permanent, how good is that permanent? But as Elk was saying, Starfield is, I get to draw a card. And not only that, I get to draw a specific card. Drawing a land is only a bad thing in your draw step, in my opinion. Every time outside of the draw step, you can choose to draw a basic land. That's great, because then you go, my next draw step, I'll draw something good instead of a fuck-ass basic land. And then it allows you to put 1-drops in your deck without facing the incredible pain of only having 1-drops on your board by turn 8.
It's an incredible card. It would be rare in any other set 5 years ago.
So let's talk about then a rare that I think is kind of a trap, which is Sunstar Chaplain. This is a 3/2 rare, beginning of end step. If you control 2 or more tapped creatures, put a 1/1 counter on something you control. You can pay and remove counters to tap down an artifact or creature. I did not get to play in the arena early access myself, but in all the games I saw, stationing's really unreliable, and the games were grindy enough. There were very few situations in which you could safely station. There were a lot of staring contests, and I had a lot of hope that station was going to help you break staring contests. Not fucking true. The only time I saw things get stationed were when one player had overwhelming advantage and was basically stationing as a touchdown dance. Green, you can try to do like a pop out and show them because you have counter doublers and just huge guys. But this is the example, like Sunstar for me is tremendous if you have a aggro deck to go with it, but by itself
stationing, if it was instant, would break staring contests, but because it isn't, because you have to tap down your creatures during your turn, it is pretty bad. Where I see Sunstar Chaplain being good is I am turning my shit sideways and killing you. Like, this is my 2-drop, I play a hasty 3-drop, I get a +1/+1 counter. That's good. But this isn't like, I don't want to tap my creatures down in a format where everything has huge bodies, because Wizards of the Coast is like, they'll crew their spacecrafts with these huge bodies, even though we're going to be killing each other with them instead.
They're saying it's a good card because it's a 2-mana 3/2. What we're talking about is how to identify bombs that you should pick which colors your sealed pool is going into around it. This is explicitly the type of thing I would not go, I'm playing white because I have this guy. If I had Starfield Shepherd, or if I had the other one we looked at, Esteli Reclaimer, I might go like, this white shit looking nice. Sunstar Chaplain, very solid card, very good card if you have an aggro strategy or a counter strategy to go along with him. But this is not the type of thing where you go like, oh hell yeah, these are my colors because I got this guy.
Yeah. By the way, chat, I'm not condoning like, stations should have been instant speed. I'm saying like, because it isn't, this is the gameplay decision that is like kind of tough to make, and what makes station probably pretty bad and limited, just because like you're negating your own board state to maybe get an advantage where you're probably just going to die if you do that. Also, the mana disadvantage of station is huge, where it's like I tap out for this big thing that doesn't impact the board, and then I tap my board to it, and then you go like, I know a braid isn't in the set, but like a braid, different common artifacts.
Well, they have that for red. They have a 2-mana put charge counters on a thing or blow up a artifact, and so it's now.
And this isn't that isn't a dies to removal argument, by the way. I've been told like, my creature, I have like a 7-drop in my command zone and I get Swords to Plowshare, is like my counter argument to that. That's a dies to removal argument. It's not, because I'm talking about mana disadvantage, which is so extremely important, especially in limited. In Commander, yeah, sure, it might not matter. That's a Mario Party format. But in limited, where you're 1v1ing someone and it's a game of attrition, and you tap out for a huge threat that doesn't do anything right away, and they spend 1 mana to answer your 6 mana, that puts you in such a detrimental losing position. It's otherworldly.
Yeah. Now, on the note of the mana disadvantage of a spacecraft, that actually reminds me of a thing I wanted to bring up. And this is based off of a couple games I saw looking over my girlfriend's shoulder as they played early access. Control is startlingly viable as an archetype in this limited set. This may just be because people didn't figure it out, but I saw like 5 different blue-white control decks that were all functioning pretty fucking well. And one of the few spacecrafts that actually did seem pretty doggone usable was Specimen Freighter, which is a 6-mana 1, and when you play it, you bounce 2 non-spacecrafts to hand. That was always just like, the games always went long enough that you could get to 6 mana without being too on the ropes, and forcing them to waste a turn. Like, this is a spacecraft you can actually try to start stationing, because you can play it, bounce your opponent's biggest threats, and then tap your board to station it, knowing you're not going to get hit.
Yeah, I mean, so looking at the Edge of Eternities set, there's a lot of creatures with toughness greater than their power.
Mm-hmm.
And what you can have in these sorts of formats, especially if like certain colors get that and other colors don't, is colors that are super controlling. Like, you just need to look back to like the Siege Rhino days where like, yeah, Siege Rhino's a 4/5, and you know what blocks a 4/5 really well? A 4/5. So you can have these staring contest games where all their toughnesses are just better than yours, and you just can't attack them. So I can see like a wall sort of like strategy being pretty good in Edge of Eternities.
No, these motherfuckers were counterspelling.
Oh, really?
Like, it was fucking, I was watching Counterspell and Bounce shit go down. Let me look for the cards that were happening. The Counterspells did not look cracked. It was more of a, like, the stuff they were playing was, like, the games were slow enough that you could try to do it. Oh, this motherfucker. Cryo Shatter. Fuck
that
this
card, yeah,
card.
let's say.
It's a
yeah,
common.
Blue Swords to Plowshares.
one blue mana. One blue mana, your guy can't fight anymore. Gives -5, -0. You suck at fighting now. If it gets tapped or is dealt damage, destroy it. This is like one of the single most debilitating versions of this blue enchantment I think I have ever seen. It was like, like Z, I was trying to give Z advice during a game because I'm stupid, and I convinced them to misplay into this card because I did not read the rest of it and assumed it started at just did -5, -0, nothing else, because I was like, oh, it'd be so fucking ridiculous for it to do anything else. And then it killed their creature because I couldn't read. So like Cryo Shatter, Desculpting Blast, Divert Disaster, they have like blue just has a ton of common and uncommon shitty control things, and there's so much card draw in this set. There's Cryogen Relic, there's Consult the Star Charts, there is Code Cracker Hound. Like, there's just a ton of ways to just go like, oh, I get 1 extra card. And because there's so many ways to get 1 extra card, it becomes way more viable to have these like minorly shitty control pieces because you're gonna replace them.
Oh yeah, no, with the upshifting of uncommons, it's been more and more viable to have value and control oriented things because everything fucking cantrips now. It's like, the card advantage is a lot more a factor in limited than it was in previous limited environments.
Yeah, like look at, there's Selfcraft Mechan, 4 mana 3/4. So at 4 toughness, we're already able to block most of these dumb white bitches. Most of these dumb aggro white bitches already cooked. And on ETB, you can sack an artifact to make it a 4/5, where it's blocking 80% of the shit in the set, and it's cantripping you. And that's just a common. Like, that's not a... I'm not saying this is busted. I'm just saying that is, like, so solid for blue.
Oh, yeah. Especially with all the lander tokens being flung around.
Yeah, lander tokens also fucked up. And then...
I kind of... Sorry, there's one more point I have to make about limited, and that's with cards like Archenemy's Charm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Go.
Triple black is fucking impossible.
Diabolical.
Especially in this format, where rare is the only place you have mana fixing besides lander tokens.
Yeah.
You can do 3 black on turn 7, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe like turn 6 if you're lucky, but like it's triple black, even like in a 2-color deck, is like going to be difficult. If you pulled 5 black rares, then maybe you can go Archenemy's Charm in that deck for sure. If you're like, I can do a mono black deck. If your sealed pool was like, I oops all black cards, you got like the misprint one, then yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's triple black.
Yeah, if you have an incredible amount of landers, maybe you can try to force it to work. But another thing I was noticing is like landers are there sometimes. They are not they're not happening all the time or every game. And so you cannot rely on them to save you from picking a card with a ton of pips. Also, I'd like to echo what chat's saying about Weft Walking being just one of the most tremendously bad cards of all time. For limited, it's actually way better than for any other format. Because limited, you draw, like, depending on when you cast this, if your opponent has 2 cards in hand, letting them cast a free one for you to draw 7 and then cast a free one, you are probably coming out on top of that unless they kill you that turn. But holy fuck, what a ingeniously terrible card.
Yeah, I can't think of anyone who looks at Weft Walking and says, limited bomb.
Right,
like,
yeah.
I'm tapping 6 mana, I'm doing nothing to the board, I'm giving you free tempo, and then, yeah, like, if you get your Weft Walking blasted, you just lose that game.
Yeah.
If you don't get it blasted, there's still like maybe a 20% chance you win that game.
And then other broad notes about the limited format. I'll say void, highly triggerable. This is the keyword for like if you warped something or if something left the battlefield that turn. It is pretty interesting how it incentivizes you to do removal at sorcery speed, even if you have it at instant, because it's always checking at your end step. But even then, super good. All of the black void creatures were motherfuckers and always made me very sad to see.
Oh yeah, there's a big thing in this set is that there is a combo, isn't there?
I wouldn't know that. I would never.
There's an infinite combo in black, which is really funny to see. It's Perigee Beckoner.
Perigee Beckoner.
Yeah, it's 5 mana, but you can warp it for 1 in a black. When it enters, until end of turn, another target creature you control gets +2/+0, and when this creature dies, return to the battlefield tapped under its owner's control. So if you have a second one of these, and it's a common, so you can target both of these. So you have 2. That's 4 mana total because you can warp them. Yeah. And then you have the free sack outlet, Umbral Color Zealot, which is an uncommon. So you sack one, it returns, it targets the other one. You sack that one, it returns, it targets the other one. You sack that one, it returns, right?
Right.
And then all you need is any pinger. Of which there's one with warp. So this whole combo is deployable for 7 mana.
I mean, really,
5 have the Zealot call it already.
Yeah, what I'm trying to think of is even if you just curved out turn 3, I do the Zealot. Turn 4, I double warp and do this. Like, I don't care if you can't kill me infinitely. I'm conceding that fucking game. You get you get to pick what you draw next, right? Because you have infinite surveil, so you can just speed run to the best piece of your library, and then you have 2 4/5s.
Yeah, my favorite part about this is every single card in this infinite is just a good card.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Yeah,
Holy shit.
Gosh, I'm gonna be so pissed and so happy at the same time. This is what I hate. There's certain cards that are really good and limited, but they're like 1 cent cards, like Nova Hellkite.
Mhm.
It's like I play it for 3 and I blast a creature, and then and then I hit you for 4. And then I cast it later, I hit you for 4 again, and also
Mhm.
shoot another one of your creatures. And Nova Hellkite's especially broken because if you just keep it in the exile zone, you have a threat of activation where you can just play it post combat and all of your creatures are unblockable if it leaves any of their blockers with 1 toughness.
Oh yeah, that's very true. God, you love being such a stinky little rat. You love these threats of activation, don't you? Every time with you, every time we're talking about cards, like, yeah, but what if I didn't activate it and said, I'm not touching you? I'm not touching you.
It's so broken. It's so good. And that's why it does 1 damage. Like, people are probably thinking to themselves when this was first revealed, why isn't this a shock? And the simple answer is because it'd be fucking broken.
Another card I want to talk about is Territorial Bruntar. Absolute fucked up piece of shit card. I saw Z play against this. They were playing against a like red-green ramp deck. And it's landfall, exile from top until you hit a non-land. You can cast it that turn. It is not the strongest thing ever. The one deck we saw against it actually decked themselves with it, which was fucking hilarious. But being able to just go, I play my land, I for sure get a usable thing I can play, insane.
That's very good, yeah.
And
also just 6/6 reach is just like god blocker.
Huge guy. He's like, you're not hitting me if we are... And this is another principle of like, how do I win limited games? You want to have the juice to break out of staring contests. And Bruntar says, if you had a good creature, you're probably not swinging it because Bruntar will at minimum trade. And if we enter this staring contest, I have a way better chance of breaking it because now every land I play turns into a usable spell instead of you, who, dumbass, you top decked a land and then you top decked a bad 1-drop.
Yeah, 6 mana 6/6 with reach. What spacecraft does this not block? It's like infinite guideline station, but that's 5 colors. No one's casting it.
Mm-hmm.
And question mark? I don't know. There's like maybe like 5.
And then I'd like to put... I'm going to do the bad, shitty, no good limited cards. Vault Guard Trooper is up there for me with the Sunstar Captain. This, if you control 2 or more tapped creatures thing, every single time I saw it, it tricked the pilot into throwing the game. Because stations, you're not going to have that many spacecraft. Like, you're never going to have enough spacecraft to have a non-combat way to get these things tapped. And every time somebody had if I have 2 tapped creatures, I get a gold star, they would take like dangerous or slightly disadvantageous swings in the hope that the payoff was good enough, and it basically never was. So that opinion may change as I get to draft the set myself instead of just like look over people's shoulders and wax philosophical. But every time I saw them, anything that said at the beginning of end step you control 2 or more tapped creatures, absolute fucking trap. Absolute goddamn trap.
For me, I look at this card. It's a 5 mana 5/5. That's like a fine like D tier card. Like I'm like okay to put that in my deck if I have nothing else to play.
Mm-hmm.
And then the upside is only upside when you're already winning the game because you're attacking.
Right.
If you're taking that aggressive stance, then that means you're already kind of like in control of that game versus taking a more defensive posture. So in a defensive posture, this card doesn't help you. It's a 5/5 blocker, I guess. When compared to Territorial Bruntar for 1 more mana, in the defensive posture, it's a 6/6 with reach. So like it blocks just about everything in the set. And then when you're on the offensive posture, it gives you resources. And it's a 6/6 that kills people. Like you can swing with it. So those cards with those high modalities are certainly things that I'm very interested in. Versus something like a Vault Guard Trooper, which seems to only be good when you're already ahead. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then green. I mean, green is just a fucked color this set. TBH. They gave green a bunch of things that were like, what if we gave them a bunch of power to do cool spacecraft stuff, and instead they used all that power to do like blunt force trauma. One card in particular that was kind of swingy but led to a bunch of fucked up situations was Hemosymbic Might. Anytime this little dumbass, it's a 1/1 that when it taps, another creature gets +X/+X, where X is its power.
Oh yeah.
Anytime this thing came down turn 1, I was fucking horrified. Because a lot of times what happened was now I either have to give up an early blocker because it's pumping, it's turning a 2/2 into a 3/3, which matters way more than you think. It's way more upsetting than you believe to have a 2/2 become a 3/3. If they ever get a station, now it's totally safe, and there's a ton of green buff spells, counter spells, equipment spells that will make this thing grow quickly enough to be a huge fucking problem for you.
Yeah, this card does seem very good. It also seems to make stations very good because you can just like, yeah, my 2/2 becomes a 3/3 and your blockers are all 2/3s.
Yeah.
It's like brutal. Yeah, no, for sure. I also really like any cheap Death Toucher is always just so fucking gross, and this set has like 3 of them.
Mm-hmm.
It has one fake one. It has the 1 black mana artifact creature that's a 4/1. In my mind, that just says 1/1 Death Touch up until like turn 6, and then it turns off.
Mm-hmm.
Blooming Stingers for 2 mana is very good. And then there's also the 1/1 Death Toucher and mono black. Those cards are always very much overperformers.
Yeah.
Because you basically present it and you're just like, answer it, or I'm taking out your best creature.
Mm-hmm.
It is, it's so good.
And then let me catch up on subs and stuff. Silent Reaper, thank you for the Prime. Alvius Fur, thank you for the tier 1 for the 4th month. And Hunter the Lurker, thank you for the 6 months at tier 1. Welcome back to the dog home, all of you. And Existential Breads, thank you for the 250-bit cheer. I've been meaning to make a deck for Gitrog or something. Ice Till Explorer feels like a sign. Any quick thoughts?
Put lands in your deck.
Damn, put lands in your deck. My first thought would be Ice Till Explorer is in my head kind of a vibe mismatch with Gitrog because Gitrog so quickly wants to be really high power. Doing a like Golgari Graveyard Lands deck, great fun. Ice Till Explorer, great in all those decks, and they're not worlds apart. But Gitrog is combo food.
God, I'm going to 3 pre-releases and I'm hoping and praying. And
You're going to 3 pre-releases?
I'm gonna do 3 pre-releases. But Ice Till Explorer is something I'm hoping to open alongside Strip Mine, and I hope to strip lock someone in limited at least once. It's possible in the set, so.
The youth are fucking corrupted, man.
It's so fun.
You're talking about infinite combos and limited. You're talking about strip locking people. What happened to 2 mana 1/1s? What happened?
As a Vintage Cube enthusiast and Vintage Cube tournament winner, strip blocking fucking sucks. I just want a format where it's good. I don't even think it's good in this format either. You have to fucking like strip mine in your horribly mana fixed deck.
Jesus. Let's move on to a mechanical trap instead of the moral trap you have just advised everyone to walk into. Sledge class seed ship. Every single set, they give the green players some type of key jingle for what if you could put a creature out for free. Sedge class seed ship is the one for Edge of Eternities, and it is bad, horrible, no good. It is a 3 mana card, achieves nothing, is a rare. After you put 7 power into it, you get a 4/5 flyer that can put something to board for free. It requires you to have that good thing in your hand. It requires you to have tapped 7 power that could have gone into somebody's skull. Just to get like an okay thing.
What are we doing here? You are so deep in the sauce.
Mm-hmm.
Before the Sledge class seed ship is really doing you any favors at all.
And most of the creatures in this set that are really powerful build themselves up over time rather than entering really powerful. Like one of the most backbreaking creatures that Z played with or against is Talia Ascendant Cadet. And, oh, 1 second. I want to catch this from Surfer. I mean, you could just warp in something with very high power to turn it online. That is the bridge in Taiwan that these people are selling you. Okay? Yeah. That is the fake bridge covered in snake oil that they are selling you. I'll simply warp in the Eldrazi to make this fucky green, to make this bad spaceship suddenly become good, because there's also a red card that lets you put like 5 counters on a spacecraft, or you can destroy a target artifact. They are just common enough to trick you into running them, and not common enough for them to meaningfully impact games. So if you want to do it for a meme, if you have like a meme deck and you're okay with going 0-3 at your pre-release, by all means do it. It's just you cannot make it consistent enough for it to be any type of plan, and you almost always have a better card to run.
Yeah, for me it's like, okay, I have these high power warp creatures. Mm-hmm. Something like the 5/5 that you can warp for 2 and you gain 2 life. That card's fine. I like that card. That card is good by itself. It gives you 2 life right now, and then it gets you 2 life later, and it's a 5/5. Mm-hmm. Very nice for stabilizing against like an aggressive matchup or something. Sledge class Seed Ship, if you don't draw that card, is worthless.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, you have 1 less card than your opponent. And the turn you play it, it's 3 mana, it enters, it's not doing anything. It's a 3 mana artifact in that situation.
Mm-hmm. Ant Booth, good luck at your pre-release. Sailor Jasmine, we're talking about the draft cards right now. We're not really talking about archetypes because, let's do another limited principle. Archetypes are mostly bullshit.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Archetypes aren't real, especially in sealed. Especially in sealed. In draft, they come up a lot more because draft is a lot more synergy heavy because you're getting more cards of a color than you are in sealed. But in sealed, it's whoa.
Yeah. In sealed, you want to be on top of all of these cards feel good to play by themselves, and I can blow up my opponent's cards that feel good for them to play by themselves. There are edge cases, and this is why I wrote 99% bullshit in sealed rather than 100%. There are edge cases where Yugi Moto himself fills your packs, and you get like a Selesnya aggro, Orzhov aggro, whatever the colors for aggro are in this set, where you have Sunstar Chaplain, you have 1-drops, you have things you can warp in to make you tokens, you have combat tricks to keep them alive, and then you just run deep into synergies. But like the Final Fantasy pre-release I went to, I built a synergyless deck and just won because I had the Buster Sword and some card draw.
My favorite synergy is when a card says draw 2 cards, because then I get to look at more cardboard. Like that's it. My favorite synergy is when it says counter my opponent's Magic the Gathering play. That's my favorite synergy in sealed. Mm-hmm. What's the difference between draft and sealed? Draft, you get to see way more cards because you are looking at all these packs. You get to pick less cards, but you get to see a lot more, which means that you're a lot more open to synergy plays. Mm-hmm. Versus sealed, where you open up 6 packs and you have to build a deck out of those 6 packs.
Yeah.
So in sealed, it's a lot more important to have efficient removal that gives you mana advantage, and cards that give you card advantage, and cards that give you good tempo, versus cards that are like, oh, hey, look, this card says if I've done a backflip, I get to get a cookie, and it's like that might be fun for a commander deck. It's not how you win a game of sealed though.
Right. And there's also a spectrum of like how how niche or how much effort does your synergy take to turn on? Because we had Old Head bring up a Mardu Wizards deck that Z forced me into drafting and got me a 7-win quick draft. And what I want to impress upon you all is we memed about how we were doing Mardu Wizards and we were like, I'm gonna kill you with instant ramen. Black Waltz #3 is just a motherfucking good card. A flying creature with death touch that will deal 2 damage on just any non-creature. Like, this is exceedingly non-specific, especially in a set where in Final Fantasy, like, half of the non-creature spells made creatures anyway, so we didn't even have to give up blockers because you just play a job select card and then you get a blocker anyway. I know you were just teasing, Old Head. An important thing about the internet is it removes all context, and so it is necessary for me to over elaborate. or people like somebody will see you and be like, yeah, Old Head was right and also totally fucking serious.
My newest video that I uploaded today, chat, if you want to give me some free...
Yeah, go watch Elk's video after this.
Yeah,
after this.
I uploaded a new video today, and I was like, I was like overplayed cards in EDH, and one of them was Chaos Warp, and I was like, oh, Chaos Warp, you probably don't want to be running this card if you are not in Grixis. If you have white or green, you have a lot better removal suites at your disposal, so it's maybe worth taking a second look at the Chaos Warp in your deck, right? It still might be worthwhile in like your Naya deck or something, even though you have white and green and that's a broken removal suite. But like Mardu, like you're getting Anguished Unmaking, you know, like, and then there's like 5 comments that are like, why did you call Chaos Warp bad? And I'm like, I didn't call Chaos Warp
no, you did. Why do you hate waffles, bro? I heard you talking about your favorite type of pancakes. What the fuck is wrong with waffles?
Yeah, I try to be nuanced with my takes, but I kind of have to learn to accept that like people are just gonna be like, you had some take about how this card is not good in some decks. You must hate it.
So I think the last limited example I want to bring up specifically to highlight how good creatures in this set tended to be grown and not just straight up played. Red can play some just like straight up big bodies. Talia Ascendant Cadet, the 5-mana Selesnya 3/3, which should make you cry and shit and throw up. ETB or attack, you get a counter on target creature you control, and whenever a creature with a counter hits somebody, you draw a card. This was fucked. This was fucked.
Yeah. I'm never getting the Selesnya allegations.
Yeah, it's so fucking good, and it's such a bad creature when you cast it, but the game is slow enough. There are so many combat phases, and green and white have so many ways to live through combat well, that you will grow a fucking unstoppable threat eventually.
Is this card that bad when you cast it? It's 5 mana. I put a counter on my dude. I draw a fucking card when I hit you with it. It's like, that's good. And then it draws me more cards if it stays around. Like, it's already replaced itself.
I think you're being a little rage baiter right now, because I agree with that notion. The times I got to see this cast, it was never cast in a situation where a hit was free. And so it was never and again, small sample size. So I think if you get to play this while you are ahead, if we compare this to the bad, shitty, no good uncommon, the Vault Guard Trooper, yeah, the situation of you play her while ahead shithouses Vault Guard Trooper. Most of the times I saw this card get played, it got played while the player was behind, and it allowed them to grind back into winning the game, which is also stupendously powerful. But it
also
just
Geckomancer. Yeah, Geckomancer. It itself would be swinging as a 5/5 for 5. However, you can put the counters anywhere, which has me a little bit interested. There is like a 3-mana 2/2 double striker. That's pretty sexy.
That's where they always went. I'll tell you one thing for free. That's where they went every goddamn time. Because the 3-mana double striker also has a mana dump board buff, which is some of the most fuck shit I've ever. Yes, it has a color agnostic mana sink. Dual Sun Adepts.
Oh, this set's awesome. It's gonna kill me.
This guy is a piece of, or is that a girl? That looks like a girl. These two are pieces of shit. I know 5 mana looks like a ton. There are so many situations where you just flood and have nothing to do and feel terrible about it. Having a 2/2 double striker that become a 3/3 double striker, and if you play an hour-long game, becomes a 4/4 double striker for nothing else. Ugh!
Oh my god. Yeah. So my advice for like trying to get attacks through is to win the die roll.
Yeah.
That's one of the most important factors in limited is winning the die roll.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you win the die roll, your win rate goes up by like 3%.
It's more than that. There's
Oh,
no
you
way.
And you don't even have to spend a card. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
All you have to do is just get really good at winning that die roll.
So yeah, I think that's going to be the end of the limited section. Hopefully this helps somebody. Focus on your bombs, focus on your removal. Don't get too sidetracked by synergies unless like genuinely half of your deck is turning them on. And all of those cards, or better rule, don't get sidetracked by the synergy unless almost all of those cards are just sweet to play without the synergy. Synergy is great sprinkle. It is terrible base.
For sure, yeah. Synergy is when you have all the by end step my creatures are tapped and you tap them and then die.
Yeah, versus that one Bruntar, that one red creature, Territorial Bruntar, he synergizes with killing people and casting you spells. That is a much better synergy than I have to tap out my board to maybe draw something random. All right, I'm going to go use the bathroom break. We're going to hit a manual ad break while we're in there, and then we will talk commander bullshit.
Yeah. If you want, guys, head over to my stream, and I'll be doing some daily word game, or you can just stream it on yours.
And we have to do the Scrandle. So I'm going to do the manual ad break, and then we'll come back, then we'll do the Scrandle.
Yeah, absolutely. I found my friend, excuse me, I didn't find this. My friend found a new daily Magic the Gathering game, and yes, okay, daily MTG challenge. Here you go. I'm dropping it in chat for everyone. This is something that my friend sent me, and it's like Pokidoku kind of. So red 3 mana value, it mentions choose. Okay, so this is like overwhelming search. From the newest. Is it not overwhelming surge? Darn, I guess I misremembered then what the name of the card is. Yeah, shout out to the friend in chat right now. Mentions counter, either meaning. Okay, so red CMC counter 3. Mentions block. This could be the Sundering Eruption. Blows up a land and then you can't block with non-flyers. Sundering Eruption. An error occurred, please try again. Did we break the website, everyone? Oh, it isn't Sundering Eruption. What's it called? What? I'm going crazy. It doesn't like the MDFC. Ah, okay.
What are you talking about MDFCs on the stream? What the fuck happened? What went
Coronation wrong? Of Chaos for 3. All right, I think we broke the website, chat.
Good. The website we need to be on is Scrandle.
Oh, true. Yeah, we can Scrandle it up right now. Okay, Coronation of Chaos worked.
Oh, Jesus. Oh.
Hang on, I'm not in yet. Play daily.
It's 2 pieces of identically awful British food.
And they're the same price?
Yeah, it's really...
man, that's a little tough. I think you go with the one with fries.
Yeah, I like curry sauce. What the hell is wrong with them? All right.
Yeah.
There's a box of sludge, or... I'm doing the pie. All right.
I like box of sludge way more.
You like box of sludge?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Why is it all fucking gravy and peas today?
I am 0 for 3 now.
All right.
I guess I'm just
locking it
off
in.
the taste. I guess just the cheaper one.
0 for 4
Why is it
now?
England Day?
Oh my! All right, Wigan kebab or Wigan kebab. It is hilarious to me. The more expensive one looks shittier too.
Was the beer not part of that equation on number 4 or number 5? Because I was locking that in for the beer.
There is cup of mushy pea and another box of sludge. Why is the gravy that watery? They would never make it in South Carolina. And 2, who are people buying just cups of peas? Like willingly? You couldn't pay me $1.50 to eat this.
Yeah. Sorry, number 7 I think just broke my brain.
All right, I'm on 6 right now. There's again identical food items. Identical boxes of slop, but one has french fries. There we go.
Number 7 is ridiculously stupid.
Okay, number 7. Fish and chips or box of sludge. How? How
Exactly!
are you not making fish and chips? We gotta go
What
back
do
to
you
war.
mean?
We gotta go back to war with England. We gotta find a way. We gotta find a reason. They have oil or something, right? We gotta just. Holy shit! Another I will take the French fries. How?
Exactly.
What
exactly.
the fuck is
No,
wrong?
I have gotten one right throughout this entire one.
Jacket potato or sludge box.
I want a
How
potato,
does
but it
sludge
doesn't
box
matter.
keep winning? How does sludge box keep winning, bro? I'm emotionally broken. Sludge box, of course. Fuck this. Fuck that country. Fuck that country. Why do they like peas so much?
Ugh.
That's awful. That's truly terrible.
I suppose we should talk about Edge of Eternities cards in Commander, right?
Let's talk about Edge of Eternities cards in Commander. I'm going to go to the same thing I was on, and then are there any specific commanders we want to call out as good or shitty? I feel like that's the thing people do.
Yeah, I am going to open my folder of cards. In my folder of cards, there is one legendary creature.
Let me see if I get... Scryfall won't load, so I can't guess who it is. Hold on. They didn't reprint Philia, so I know it's not that.
Which is... Yeah, I love having one legendary creature that I'm excited for. It's a very refreshing moment.
Alright, who is it?
It's Zoo Ifit, Osteoharmonist.
I scrolled by them, and in my head went, well, it's not that fucking loser.
This guy's cool. I like him.
Weird.
He's a fun design.
Return target creature card from graveyard to the battlefield. It's a skeleton and has no abilities. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, so the funniest thing to return is Phyrexian Dreadnought or Death Shadow. Right? You play those for 1 and they fucking entomb themselves. And then you tap Zoo Ifit. And they're back into play as a 12/12 and a 13/13.
Yeah, that is pretty goddamn hilarious.
And then what you do is you hit them with the Disciple of Bolus. Or the Shadow Heart.
Yeah. You do.
And you draw 13 or you draw 12.
Yeah.
Or you can, of course, 3/3 classic flicker it, right?
Of course.
You flicker the thing you bring back, you get all of its abilities back, like a Conjurer's Closet, or you know, like all sorts of things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I feel like that one's a little bit too head-ass compared to just I get back big things that are supposed to nerf themselves, because then it's like if you were playing the big things that are supposed to nerf themselves, you don't want to get their abilities back.
Yeah, I love the fact that Phyrexian Dreadnought and the Death Shadow both entomb themselves. That's like a really good upside for this card.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of other legends that I was like specifically interested in. Tanic got close, but I don't know. Like he doesn't do anything very interesting when compared to like a Perforos, right?
I'm so bored by Tanic, actually. It's just, I said this about it on a previous stream, it's literally just Satoru Umezawa for people who think they're too cool to play blue. Like, everybody is going to make this deck, cast one Stinkhands Larry, aka Phyrexian Obliterator or whatever, the 12 Blightsteel. Cast one Blightsteel for 3 mana, get killed, and go, oh, that wasn't very fun, and take apart the deck. Or they're gonna go really
excited because you can get cast triggers off him for 3 mana.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, oh, holy shit. But he says red creatures, so it's actually really hard to get like any of the cast triggers that matter. Like Emrakul, right? Like you can't 1 mana Emrakul with Tanic.
It does give haste, Cairo.
It does.
The first line of text is other creatures you control have haste. So it's more interactable than like, oh, the creature gets haste because you can just shoot Tanic. But if you just go like, yeah, I think a million people are just gonna go, ha ha ha, I have sneak attack in the command zone. Why aren't you clapping? Ah, as they get killed by the rest of their table.
Yeah, if you're going for sneak attack in the command zone, just play the 5 mana Perforos. Like,
yeah,
you got this. You're good.
Yeah, we believe in you. We believe in you.
Yeah. There's not a lot of commanders I like from this set, which is fine. That's good. I'm happy just as much to get cards for the 99.
Very healthy after Final Fantasy and their army of commanders.
Oh, get ready for fucking Spider-Man, pal. We're about to get fucking common legendaries. Like literally, it's going to be nothing but legends. So, buckle up. I like the design of Memnon, for instance, the right hand, and Alpha Rail, or however you say his name. Like those are fun. Yeah. Even the Halia, like I don't know, there's like some fine legends in the set, but there's nothing that's like besides Zuafit. She's cool.
Yeah, I think Halia is a very like meat and potatoes. A lot of people are just like, oh my god, it's the 18th +1/+1 counters commander, which it is, but there are like minor differences. Like people can own more than one blue shirt and prefer one over the other, and I feel like Halia is a decent iteration for that.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with Halia at all, even though it's like number 15 of this effect that we're getting. It's like one of the better ones, honestly. Mm-hmm. I like it as like a Guide of Souls, like sort of side grade sort of deal. Yeah. I like, instead of like Soul Sisters, unless you're like in a turbo dedicated life gain trigger deck, I do prefer the Guide of Souls. I do prefer the Halia in that slot to something like that Guide of Soul, or to something like that not Mother of Runes. What's the name of the card?
I was talking about the Selesnya bitch, but also the mono white one.
No, the mono white one's cool. Yeah, no, the Selesnya one as well is just like, for me, when I look at the Selesnya one, I'm like, okay, but like, how is this better than like Cutsil counters? Or because Cutsil's 2 less mana, but you don't get the enters or attacks counter. But that's fine because you just put good counters cards.
Well, deck, like right? I think it matters for the thing that I dislike about counters decks the most, which is that they start out with 20 cards pre-selected because it's stuff that you just have to have. And because Halia contains the put counters on within itself and contains the card draw within itself, nobody's gonna do this, which is gonna make me sad later, but it gives you the opportunity to free up deck slots that would have just gone towards 1/1 counter slop and still have a counters deck, which I like the idea of. But again, they're just,
you can sort of counterweight it a little.
Yeah, but like the hardened scales, it's already in there. Green Rhystic Study, it's already in there.
Yeah, I don't have much else to say about any commanders or anything.
One other one I want to call out, very cute, is Ragost. I think unfortunately he is going to be relegated to like every single person in the world is going to have a Ragost deck and they are going to be indistinguishable from each other, but we're all going to like it. It's going to be like the action figure. It's going to be the Buzz Lightyear that we all have. They're all going to look the exact same and it's always going to put a smile on your face.
Yeah. I have trouble finding play patterns with the Ragost where I'm like, I'm having a good time.
Mhm. Most of it is saying, I can't believe a shrimp fried this rice, bang.
Yeah. Reghost feels like a commander that's going to be played by like 500 million people. And then
Mhm.
and then of those 5 million people, 45 of them will not take the deck apart.
Yeah, I agree with that. All right, let's do we want to touch on the pre-con commander Kilo at all? Since it's the latest proliferate guy.
Oh, that card, he's fine.
He's just so
He's fine.
there.
Yeah, he's okay. It's when it enters or is tapped, right?
No, it's when he's tapped, but he has haste.
Okay. So, yeah, I mean, that's just Thrumming Bird in the command zone. Like, you can do a lot with that, especially in Jeskai colors, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Great job. I mean, there's like counters everywhere. Like, I don't know what to say.
We've done it.
It's very open-ended to play. You can do charge counters. You can do planeswalkers. You can do +1/+1 counters. You can do, like, yes. If you were like, I really, Atraxa would be a very good commander for this strategy, but I'm too hipster to play Atraxa.
But I don't want to get killed with hammers. I will simply play Kilo. Damn, there really are like no legendary creatures this set.
And I'm happy.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's very...
yeah.
And so many of them just suck raw ass. Holy hell.
Good.
No, it's great. It's finally. This is the inverse commander power creep. Nature's healing.
This is awesome because this is the set that has me the most excited for commander upgrades of any set I've ever seen of all time. I've never been more excited for commander upgrades to my decks.
Why? Because warp and it said exile?
Yeah, that's true. I do like the warp mechanic a lot. I'm having trouble of, like, I know we normally do like, oh, what's our least favorite card? What's our favorite card? Mm-hmm. I'm having trouble thinking of cards that I do not like in this set. Even Infinite Guideline Station, I'm like, this is a fine 5-color, like, cesspool commander. Like, sure.
Okay.
I'm not particularly upset by this.
Then instead of trying to do, like, oh, here's our most favorite, let's just try to call out a few that are key jangly for us. May I begin?
Absolutely.
The number one key jangler for me is Long Range Sensor. You and I have fought about mono red card draw engines a lot historically. As a count on luck believer, and you as a hater who I've already depicted as a monkey bot, I think Long Range Sensor is the best red card draw engine we've ever gotten.
So I'm going to be deleting this from my folder now.
Oh!
Because you're talking about it. Yeah, no, this card fucking rocks. It's really good. Whenever you attack a player, you get a charge counter. What does red like to do? Crash out.
Mm-hmm.
And then Discover 4 is so good. Discover's infinitely better than Cascade because you can put it in your hand if you don't want to cast it. Mm-hmm. And then if you do want to cast it, this is mana advantageous. And if you already have a board state, you get the card right away, which is better than Phyrexian Arena.
They said the word. They said mana advantageous. Almost certainly not CDH playable Yu-Gi-Oh, which I know you're saying is a joke, but it's certainly not. Hold on, I fucked up my windows. No, I have all of them open now. All right, yeah. Okay, Long Range Sensor, agreed, crazy. What's one of your other bangers?
Okay, I'm gonna stick with the commander set stuff.
Okay.
Before we get into the main set, of course, you started us off here on a very nice note. I'm here on the fucking Evan Du Brush Razor.
The fuck? That sounds like a strain of weed. Of course it's not on Gatherer, because Gatherer is fucking bad.
I dragged it into the slideshow.
Oh, thank you. Whenever you sack a non-token read, sorry. My bad.
Yeah, whenever you sack a non-token permanent, exile the top card of your library. During your turn, as long as you've sacrificed a non-token permanent this turn, you may play cards exiled with this creature, and then it has a small Orcish Lumberjacks effect where you get to sack a land and add mana.
That's so fuck.
Fetch lands, exile off the top. Let's get the boring shit out of the way first. Mm-hmm. Yes. If you sack a fetch land, you get to exile the top card of your library, and you get to play it so long as you've sacrificed a non-token permanent. I run a non-token aristocrats deck in the form of Judith the Scourge Diva. So every time I sack a non-token permanent with this on board, I get to ping something with Death Touch, presumably. It dies, and then I exile the top card of my library. I get to play it for as long as I control this creature, which is a ridiculous line of text. It's not even until the end of turn.
Yeah, that is goofy and evil. Genuinely, would Gruul Atali players play this just for another source of lumberjacking, or is the fact that it's only 2 mana too little?
No, because you go from 3 to 6 mana. All you would have to have done is ramp one more time that game. If you go birds into this, you're turn 4 Atali, right?
Yeah.
Which is pretty decent.
Baby CDH playable. At minimum, this is like the high power Atali players are using this. Does the play condition of Avendo work if it's not on the field? It shouldn't. Typically, those types of abilities, if the creature's not present, the ability is not present, and therefore can't be fulfilled.
Yeah, Jomi Bug. If there was no line break between the top card of your library and during your turn, then it would work.
Oh yeah.
There's a line break here, however, meaning that this is a static ability on this creature that needs to be in play in order for you to play that card. And also, if it ever gets reset, it forgets all the cards.
Yeah. Separate piles. And then Shad Crody's asking, thoughts on Sir Vondum Sunstar Exemplar? Well, we did just shit on all of the commanders from this set. It is fine and cute. It is mostly just like, this is kind of Orzhov beatdown, but it's flexible enough to do aristocrats or flicker.
Yeah,
yes.
If you care about the first mode, stop kidding yourself and play Ketramos. Right. Dies or is put into exile. Come on. And then, or alternative path, play, one of the many aristocrat Orzhov commanders. And then the second mode is just fine. Mm-hmm. It's okay. It'd be a fun Lurrus companion deck if you didn't want to do Elasil Core. It's a new option for Orzhov. Lurrus companions.
Am I smoking something if I think Insight Engine is hot stuff in a counters deck? No, it just depends on how hot you think is hot. Insight Engine is like very, very serviceable if you already happen to be proliferating a ton. Really, all you have to do is start doing math on how much mana do I have to pay into this to draw enough cards that I'm happy, and then how does that rate compare to anything else I would play? Because Insight Engine it's like 2 mana to play, 2 mana, put a charge counter on it, draw a card for each charge counter. So it's it's 3 to play. 5 mana, draw 1 card. 7 mana, draw 3 cards. 9 mana, draw 6 cards. 9 mana, draw 6. I'm not mad at that at all. All the other ones I'm pretty fucking mad at. But if you have a deck that is already moving around charge counters and you go, okay, 5 mana, immediately draw 3, suddenly we're talking about something reasonable, even if it's not optimal. If we're talking about 5 mana, draw 1, but I proliferate 4 fucking times on my turn, so it's 5 mana, draw 1, 7 mana, draw 6, holy happy. But it is much more cute than it is cookery.
All right. Do you have more heaters you want to talk about? Because I have a folder full of them. This set is awesome.
Bring out another one of yours. I'm going to keep looking for a moment.
We have All Fate Stalker.
Oh, of course. The Warp Flicker Boy. To help you flicker your warp creatures for cheap.
I like that it's a 2 mana flicker, and then later it's a 4 mana exile Fiend Hunter, right? Banish the Priest is more apt. But I like this one compared to something like, say, if your deck is running Touch the Spirit Realm, maybe also run All Fate Stalker. Why not both, is my opinion. This one can't instant speed protect. like Touch the Spirit Realm can.
Mm-hmm.
However, it's a 2-for-1 inherently, where Touch the Spirit Realm is a flicker or a O-ring.
Right. Yeah, I like this a lot. I think it's really cool when stuff gets to pull double duty a bit, because the weaker stuff now kind of has to pull double duty. Like, cards either have to just be A-list for their job, or they have to be pretty good at multiple things, and being able to do like a beneficial flicker and then do a lockdown later. Yeah, that's neat.
Yeah, and of course, like Tymek says, it's not a strict upgrade to Touch the Spirit Realm. I'm not claiming it to be. It just has it's a nice side grade potential if you care more about the creature mode, if you're not using it as a protection spell all the time, right? Like,
Yeah.
It's not something that you use to replace it. It's a supplement.
Yeah, and there's also a lot of decks I play where I find, for whatever reason, particularly in lower brackets, where I'm finding the end stages of building to be like, ooh, I have this effect on a non-creature. I really need to get this effect on a creature. Most of the time, it's so that I have more Buster Sword targets. But if nothing else, it's so that, like, maybe I need chump blockers. Maybe one of my game win conditions is an overrun effect or some type of other board stacking effect. And having ways to move stuff from non-creatures to creatures can make battle cruiser magic feel much more doable.
Do you want to keep rapid firing these, or do you have one?
No,
now?
no. I need to scroll. I have the memory of a goldfish at all times. Somebody asked me about All Fate's Scroll being the best mana rock ever, and I am holding back vomit.
All Fate's Scroll is fine.
Oh, the best 3 mana rock. Pyro? No. I'm going to give a little stray to Josh Lee Kwai. Chromatic Lantern is still relevant. It just is. I don't care how fucking... And stop it, Mr. Fetchland, Mr. Flicker my catch-up ramp. If you don't have access to white or green, pip fixing is still brutally important. Many times, if you ever intend to cast multiple spells in a turn. If you only want to cast like one legendary creature every turn of the game, go off. Who cares about fixing? I think this one is, if you are in a position to be playing 3 mana rocks, yeah, sure. But most decks just don't want to be.
I like this card a lot in any deck that like turbo abuses Field of the Dead, because in that deck, mana is an object and all of your lands have different names.
Yeah.
So you can just like go, oh, I did my giant fuck you Scapeshift turn, or my giant Aftermath Analyst into my Lotus Cobra, and I made like 50 mana. And then I'm going to tap this. I'm going to draw 20 cards off of my differently named lands in my army of 40 zombies because I have Vesuva and Field of the Dead, right? Then we're cooking. I'm super in. It is questionable if something like a what's it called? It has Ferocious and you draw a card for each creature you control. Is it Shamanic Revelation? I believe that's the name.
Yeah, I think it is.
Collective Unconscious type of effect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like this card. I like that it has a higher floor rather than the Shamanic Revelation.
Mm-hmm.
That's about it. It's a fine card.
Okay, I'm gonna grab my next one, which I'm not even sure if this is technically from the Commander set, but frankly, I don't give a damn. Which is, and it's gonna take me a while to pull up the picture because Scryfall is EP, but it's Famished Worldsire. Even though I am a green hater, and even though this is a land abuser, it is the Devour Land 3 thing, where after you check it, you do like a almost pseudo Scapeshift at home type effect, where you get to check the top X and then flop all the lands out. I love this for more casual games because it's the first known instance of meaningful deck thinning, where I spend 8 mana on this, I sack every single land I have, which is always the correct option, and then I flip all the rest of the lands out of my deck, and now the rest of the game, I only draw gas. I am now immune to flood. That's cute as hell.
Yeah, I like this card a lot. I agree with your assessment, except for the pay 8 mana part, because I run a beautiful little Kinesis.
Oh, you little bitch! It's a Leviathan. I didn't even fucking know that.
So my favorite thing with this card is I cannot fucking wait to pay 4 mana on someone's end step, sack all my lands, and then hit 1 land and then lose. I cannot wait. That's gonna be hilarious. It's going to be even funnier when I draw this card after I've already Trench Gorgered. And for those that don't know, Trench Gorger is a giant fuck you Leviathan in mono blue that just says exile any number of lands from your library and then becomes that big. So it's a mana severance and then it grows. So like this card becomes worthless after you've done the mana severance one. And then also just tacking on this to the Kinesis conversation, this is also a Leviathan.
Oh, Jesus.
Sea monster players rejoice. We're eating, finally.
God, the monster lovers really are eating. Geckomancer's asking, how often is flood really a problem in green? Something lands. It's not about it being a problem for green. It's about it being a problem in lower power tables where good card draw and tutors are rare. Plenty of lower power tables, like what the zone I call pre-con jail, where we all have enough lands to do big scary things, but we don't have ways to guarantee that we always have the big scary thing in our hands. Getting to the late game and then all of the excitement going out of the game because everybody goes like, oh, draw, I guess I don't have anything to do with this 11 mana, pass. That is usually the situation that will like kill a commander game's excitement. And Worldsire just says like, hey, what if we got all these fucking lands out of here? Everything is a non-land, which does not guarantee that everything you draw is going to be like the big game-ending spell, but it gives you a big fucked up creature who at least near guarantees you're not top-decking lands anymore, and that matters a ton for the emotional momentum of a game.
Yeah, I'm in fucking love with the giant space Leviathans. I'm super happy they delivered. I've been craving sea monsters for so long. I think we finally hit critical mass where sea monsters are good. Like they're on par with like good and casual. Like they're on par to me with like angels. Angels like it's still pretty low power in the grand scheme of like creature types.
Yeah.
To build a deck around, but like being on par with angels is a huge step for sea monsters.
We've finally done it.
Yeah, these two plus Summon Leviathan from last set are like perfect. Great. We are cooking. We've reached it.
Yeah. We have a rant redeem from Elic Man, which is rant about the double cast spells not having flurry, despite wizards making flurry the double spell keyword back in Tarkir Dragonstorm. It infuriates me to no end. Alex,
yeah, that's annoying as shit.
I know that it's not. I know that your taxes are crisp, dog, and I appreciate that about you. Personally, I could not give a fuck. I could not give a singular fuck. But yeah, it's weird that they did not.
Yeah, especially since they're like totally fine with like, for example, Devour. This is the only instance of Devour in the set. Like they're fine printing keywords in sets now that they don't belong to. So it's like,
yeah,
there should be no issue. I low-key want to run this one back because this card gains a whole new context in Commander.
Okay. Yeah, you have way better one-drop access.
Oh my god, Mother of Runes? Are you fucking shitting me? 2 mana, I'm screwed. I need a Plains. Or 2 mana, get Mother of Runes, get fucking Haywire Might if you're Selesnya. Get like there are so many good goddamn one drops.
Boros aggro decks gets Ragavan.
Yeah.
Here's my Ragavan tutor.
Yeah, and then for me, like I didn't even think about this, but you know the card Saphara Sky's Blade, right?
Why would I know that?
Okay.
You're talking about a one flying creature, fuck them. A white creature, fuck them. Presumably an angel, fuck them. What are we talking about?
So Safari Sky's Blade is a deck that I've had on the shelf for a little while. I used to play her pretty religiously, but I've sort of fallen out of favor with it just because she's super reliant on 2-for-1 flying body spells. So, for instance, something like a Hollowed Haunting or a Hanged Executioner or a Midnight. No, what's it called? It's the triple white one, or you can pay 2 for each one. I forgot the name of it. And then there's also the one with Parlay, where you all reveal the top card, and then for each non-land you get a spirit, and then everyone draws a card. So those are those, and then also there's the enchantment Spirit Bonds. Wherever you cast a creature spell, those are the ones that get Safari out super early. In this, Starfield Shepherd's another one of these. For 2 mana, you can go Warp, Ornithopter, tap it, the Ornithopter, and 2 other flyers you played earlier to play Safara, which is just so absurdly good. And it's literally been it's been half a decade since we've gotten a 2-for-1 flyer spell that fits in this deck.
Elk's been counting. Elk's been looking at that Safara deck every night going, one day.
Yeah, it's been since M20. M20 was the last time we got one for Safara. And keep in mind, mana value 3 or less is what I'm looking for. So like no Soul of Migration. That card doesn't count.
Yeah. Okay. I'm with that.
Anyway, yeah. You get Esper Sentinel, you get your planes, you can ephemerate it to get more value. There's a ton of really good 1-drop spells that also just work really well with certain things. Like in an Orzhov deck, you get the X Orzhov hybrid spell, which returns all cards of a certain mana value back from your graveyard to play. There's so much you can do with 1-drops, and this card's just so broken with them. It's incredible.
Also in the vein of incredibly good and flexible toolbox cards, my next is Depth Shaker Titan, the 7-mana thing that turns your junk into murder weapons. This is probably my most, like, I want to make a deck around it so bad, and I know it's not going to work the way I want it to. But the idea of taking a board full of treasures and junk and just hucking them at the table.
Oh, wow. They reprinted Cyberdrive Awakener.
No, they didn't. Fuck you. Fuck you. No, they didn't. So this to me is like the closest we've gotten to red Crater Hoof, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
So they all, if you are swinging out at the table, everything is a 6/6 with trample and haste. Once you stack up all the melee stuff, I think that's cool as shit. It may convince me to resurrect my Prosper deck. It may convince me to make a proper junk deck with all of the like Fallout and other applicable junk things. But it makes me so happy. Oh.
Yeah, I think I'll just throw this one on here as like an alley-oop on top of yours. Like, holy shit, have we gotten a better Reckless Fireweaver than this?
Oh, fuck this card. Nah, boring. Fine, boom.
It is boring. It's good.
It is good.
All right.
Crazy and fucked up.
For my real next suggestion, they were kind of cooking when they printed this card.
Oh, god damn it. You fucking... Yeah. Kill Phyrexian Arena with hammers. Long live Requiem Monolith. It's... it's neat. It's neat.
I like...
Sure.
I like you get a card right away. I like there's a political aspect to it.
Yeah.
It's so funny that this is modal. So you can like target your thing and then Blasphemous Act. Or if it kills your opponent, you can target their thing and then Blasphemous Act. So not only is it a repercussion for the times you need it in those stop hitting yourself decks, but it's also just a card draw engine, and it's also very low floor, but the fact that it just cantrips if you control any creature.
Yeah, it's an easier to fit in Phyrexian Arena that goes off the turn you play it. So this...
Also, I tap this on my creature, I attack you with it. Are you blocking?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, this card is unfortunately incredibly hot. This is probably going to go in my mental list of, oh, do I have black? This is like when I build decks, I typically do a first draft where I just like have to have card draw, have to have dex priority number 1, have to have removal. And Requiem Monolith is probably going high on the list of, am I in black? This is one of my I have card draw engines. Because there's just so few decks that wouldn't like it.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's very low, or very high floor, which is always what I'm looking for in a card. And then it also has, of course, an amazing ceiling, especially in any red deck that can reliably damage their own creatures.
Mm-hmm. And then we had a question from Elikman about the new Jund precon commanders. So there's Zarl, who is just a Crucible of Worlds effect that lets you put counters on stuff when you sacrifice lands. I think that's cute. I think for both of these, I think can be summarized by the land players needed something to do other than Lord Windgrace, and I'm glad they have that.
Yeah, I look at the Jund precon, and really the only card in it that stands out to me as something that's going to make it into my personal mono green lands decks is Horizon Explorer. You can never, ever, ever have enough of the Amulet of Vigor style effects. And Horizon Explorer is just another one to the pile. The fact that it's a Amulet of Vigor that you can just like green Sun Zenith for, very good. Yeah, that's like the main standout card for me from that precon, besides the Evan Brush Razor, but that's more for Aristocrats decks than Landfall decks.
Yeah. Large Narge, thank you for the tier 1 sub for the 4th month. Something, something, something. I'm edging to eternity. Something, something, something. I'm glad to see we're already fatiguing that particular meme, but I hope you're having a good day. Okay, and then we had a rant from Eric Baum to just spend a minute crashing out about the planet lands. These things fucking suck.
I think it depends on them.
No, it doesn't. They suck unabashedly. If you're playing Galta, hey, that guy's at home is fine.
I'm into the Galta example. I think it sucks because I do unabashedly feel that Evandu doesn't do anything. You know what I mean? And no. I do think that this card is worse than Growing Rites of Itlimoc in 80% of decks. But we're a singleton format, so you can't say things like that. There's some nuance to be had, but it's just worse. And so for me, it's just like I do not believe in Evandu outside of some specific lists that can crop rotate for it, that can have that large power creature like a Galta, or have a very wide board that somehow gets to 12 power but still doesn't overrun your opponents and kill them. I believe a lot more in the Tolarian Academy land. That one's actually, like, I think kind of low-key pretty good. And that's mostly because of Karnstructs. Those things get huge, you crew it, and then, oh my gosh, my Nettlecyst turned into fucking Tolarian Academy, right? Or my, I've tapped my Urza Saga twice.
Okay.
Great, I'm gonna get with my Urza Saga Expedition map, get the fucking Tolarian Academy land, play it, crew it with the constructs I just made. They're probably 6/6s by now. It's active for next turn. That's pretty fucking good. That's a good play pattern. I'm kind of into that. So I kind of have some faith for the blue one. I think Evandu is a fine land. I just think that it's not the best. The black one I think is kind of good too, because you play it tapped, and then like if you're doing the Zoophyte, like I was talking about, that kind of deck where you have a Death Shadow in play, you just tap it immediately, crew up your tap land, which is the floor, which is not that low of a floor, to be honest.
Please do not sell Christmas land to our poor listeners right now.
It's not that bad. It's not that bad.
I would agree. I would agree. There are worlds where it can. I think these are lands where, if you are in a 2-color deck, you throw them in without thinking. They are lands with upside, which is better than lands without upside. I think the 12 power ask is big enough that unless your deck is focused around tax frauding a giant thing in, which Karnstruct decks are about, which this Zoo Ifrit Reanimator deck is about, which your Galta deck would be about. If your deck is about that, they become really pretty freaking cool. In every other situation, I do think they are just more of like the station trap, where you typically just don't have that much power that you can pay into these, that you would not rather be swinging in for damage, or you don't need to prevent somebody else from murdering you. It's another thing of, if we made them instant speed, they'd be way too good, so they have to be sorcery speed, and because they're sorcery speed, you almost never actually want to station them. Now, if you're going,
they're horrible dog shit outside of the decks I just listed.
Right.
That being said, a card doesn't have to be fucking Beseiju, right?
It does. Yeah, it does.
Every card needs to be a new Beseiju.
We need new Beseiju every single set, or I'm freaking out. I do love that as normal, red got fucked.
Oh my god, they got Shivan Gorge like 25 years ago.
Red got fucked incredibly hard. It's beautiful.
Oh my god, that's so funny. I can't think of a deck that the red land is good in. I imagine it plays better than it looks, but I don't want to believe that. So I'm just gonna say it's dog shit and move on.
Yeah, so I think if your deck is about, I cheat a tremendous amount of power into play, super fun. Every deck can afford to just run it as, or not every deck that does not have incredible pip restrictions can afford to just run it as like, oh, it's a tap land, maybe something crazy will happen. But they're exceedingly normal. They're exceedingly normal.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm not trying to sell these as like staples or anything, but like you can build around these cards and have them be good. But they're build arounds, right?
Yeah. Why are you trying to crew it in one turn though? That's the wrong mindset to have. The sentence I just said about there's generally not a lot of power that you want to hold back. And at the point where we're like, oh yeah, 7-turn investment, that to me is more Magical Christmas Land talk. Like if I get 7 turns to set up the thing I want to do, I don't really care about how low the investment is. We're talking about a fully theory crafted thing.
Yeah, for me, it's like the reason why I want to crew them up in one turn with like a construct board or like a Galta or like a wide board of like, Tender Shoot Dryad tokens or whatever, is because this is just the strongest play pattern with them as well. Going like early game, turn 1, turn 2, this is a tap land where I don't really care about my curve. And then, turn 4 or 5, I have an academy this turn right now. That's a huge tempo spike that you got back immediately off of the tap land from earlier, and then you get to roll with that in future as well. Yeah. Very important. So let's move on, I suppose. Yes. I have a card that I'm going to fend for, who I think a lot of people shit on. This is Cosmogoyf.
Oh, no, that guy's cool. Exile matters.
I had someone in my Discord say that this is worse than Tarmogoyf, and I'm like, you are...
That's crazy.
Not thinking.
That's insane.
So, in the context of 60 card, in a Jund like deck with like self-mill themes, this works really well with Detective's Phoenix, where you can go 1 red mana, exile your entire graveyard to collect evidence, and put it on the Cosmogoyf, and then you have like a fucking like 8 power attacker, which is ridiculous. Also, yes, Tarmogoyf used to be one of the best creatures ever printed. Lecoryrin, I'm not even gonna try, sorry. It used to be. Tarmogoyf is unplayable dog shit now. And if you want to fight me on that, you're just wrong. But yes, this is better than Tarmogoyf because of that Detective's Phoenix reason, because Detective's Phoenix is supremely playable. Tarmogoyf is not something you can brew around. Moving to Commander, what mass grave exile stuff do we have in this format? Well, one, if you get hit by someone's farewell, it's very nice to just go creature, fucking Gerard Van Sarvo, throw it at your head and you die, right? It's very nice. On top of that, Analyze the Pollen is a huge move you can do with this, where it's 1 green mana for a land cycler, or it's 1 green mana, get any land or any creature if you collect evidence 8. So what you do is you have a massive self-mill deck, you cast Analyze the Pollen, you exile your entire graveyard to the collect evidence, because you can over-collect evidence. You get the Cosmogoyf, And then you have a huge 2-mana creature that you can combine with a Greater Good, anything like that. Very cool card. Very interesting play patterns as well.
I'm not even going to talk about the stuff you can do under your own power. I'm going to appeal to the good folks of Twitch chat who I know I have been Bojuka bogged more times than you have felt your father's love. And now, finally, I have a thing I can just play after I get bogged, that I can have all of this shit to be like, well, if they don't bog me, I can still make an 8/8, I can still make a 10/11, whatever. But if they bog me, I'm coming back. And I'm coming back for everything.
Yes, I would agree with you, A Rose in Bloom, if Cosmogoyf was not in green-black. The colors of Disciple of Freyalise, Greater Good.
Yeah.
It's Rishkar's Expertise, Disciple of Bolus, now Sir Secundi.
Gerard. There's a
Gerard
million,
Von Servo.
things. Yeah, there's a million things. And then Ozone is Lucky and Swing Ripper, thank you both for the Prime subs. Welcome to the dog home, my friends.
It's just very interesting to me that the previous best beater in these colors was Lord of Extinction.
Mm-hmm.
And now you can just build your own Lord of Extinction for 3 mana in these self-mill style decks.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty fucked up.
I'm curious, do you want to talk about how overhyped this card is?
Oh, sure, yeah. About the dumb fucking bug sitting on the side of Route 12 or whatever in your local Pokemon game. I mean, I think it's
a good card.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd call it overhyped, as I would just, I could hear every landfall deck salivate as they got the 14th version of landfall effect that was going to go in every single landfall deck.
Yeah, I think unless you have a lot of graveyard synergy beyond lands, you're really not interested in this over an Oracle of Moldiah. Oh my gosh, my friend Jared asked me if I wanted a Jersey Mike sandwich. Yes, please.
Well, I think that's the thing
mustard.
You have too much faith in the landfall players, because I know they're just running both. Like, I know they're just running both of these in absence of a plan that can win the game, and they're just going to go like, oh my god, another landfall enabler that lets me play an extra land every turn. It is going in no matter the cost.
Yeah, for me, I'm a lot more respectful of this sort of mindset. If you're my friend Christian with the Grist deck, and they're like, oh my gosh, an insect with a useful ability.
Oh,
this
yeah.
is a slam dunk and Grist. That's a based thinking mindset.
Yeah. The Grist players are for sure eating right now. Insect with relevant text. We've done it.
Yeah, but in a world where we live in now, sorry, I just had like a stroke. In a world where we get fucking Crucible of Worlds every set, and we get Exploration every set, sometimes multiple times per set, like we did in this one. Exploration Broodship is in the Commander thing. There becomes a critical mass where you cannot run 40 fucking Explorations.
Yes, you can. I've seen it. I've seen it happen. They can and they will.
And I want to make it abundantly clear that Ice Till Explorer is a fine card. It's perfectly fine, and that's it. That's my take. It's okay.
That's it. It's okay.
It is a good card. Good job. It's not destroying the format.
Oh yeah, of course not. I'm probably running it over Crucible itself, just to be like, oh well, now instead of running, if I'm in a lower power landfall deck, if I'm trying to do something like big and strong, then Exploration to play it on turn 1 and get ahead of curve spookily quickly, for sure. If I'm in a bracket 2 hangout deck and I'm praying for Soul Ring, or I'm like Llanowar elfing into this, I think being able to get 2 land drops combined with playing from graveyard is enough that I would run it over Crucible. But yeah, it's just going in the, hey, you have 20 of these effects, pick your favorite 5.
Yeah, I've cut all the Crucible of Worlds from my Kira combos deck, because that's relying more on Splendid Reclamations and the combo lines off of those. So Crucible straight up was just too slow in my deck. This is an interesting design that made me think about it a little bit more. I still think the answer is I'm not going to play Ice Till Explorer in my lands deck, but that's because I'm not landfall. I'm making Merit Legion in the deck.
You are the person I was on the Good Time Boys podcast like a week ago, and we were talking about archetypes, and they tried to argue that lands and landfall were just the same, and I was like, no, I've met the criminal. I've met the criminal. I have met the lands criminal who does not give a fuck about the landfall, and they care very much about which lands are happening. So yeah, I'd agree.
Yeah.
I think this is just incredibly very solid all around. I'm going to begin getting pinched for time, but we can definitely do at least a few more. There's one I want to talk about is just like, this is the one that gave me that same sensation of, oh my god, it's so terminally all right. So let's do a slide for the overhyped.
All right.
Not even the bad, just the overhyped. This is a good set.
Sure.
Good set.
Oh yeah, for sure. This is terminally fair.
This is the most like in bracket 2, where I already could never beat the green player in combat. I will simply continue to lose to the green player in combat. But because it is so expensive and so tiny,
I like this card a lot with a lot of the cards that say whenever one or more +1/+1 counters are put on this, you get a hand job. Like, love this card with those. That's a really fun synergy. But in general, like, if you're just running this and you don't have any like follow through with like, ooh, I have Cigar to summons and now all my creatures with counters are angels, or oh, I have, all my creatures with counters have trample. It's a fine card.
But Elk, what if I ran this with like Embiggen, and I Embiggened Ouroboros, and then everything got 4 counters, Elk? Wouldn't I win the game?
Whoa, what if I spent 2 cards to make 1 card good, and then I got 2 for 1 by a removal spell?
What?
What if I got Time Walked and Thought Seized at the same time? I don't know what to say, man. If you think that's broken, I'm really glad you like Commander.
I think it's super chill, and I think there will be situations where you look at an Elf Ball deck, and an Elf Ball deck plays this, and then by turn 6, you're like, oh my god, we all died, Ouroboros is so broken, and you have not paid attention to just the mana tempo and the wideness of board they got from playing Elf Ball. But it is super, like, it's a 4 mana thing where if you leave it alone until turn 9, it's going to get you killed. And I think that's good and healthy for Commander. I think that's like a good precedent to be setting, is we can have these 4 mana. This is actually one of the cards that will be going forever in my folder of why I am replacing more and more of my casual interaction with things that hit multiple creatures instead of just one. Because this is exactly the type of shit that it would not feel very good to counterspell. It would not feel very good to use like a Swords to Plowshares on it compared to some of the other like threats or value engines that could come down. But I super can't just leave it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think overall Ouroboros, do not get us mixed once again. It's overhyped, but it's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
This card is very good, especially if you have a counters theme. Great job.
Am I overhyping Nutrient Block for putting it in every treasure deck I've ever built? Probably. Depends on how bad your decks are.
Can we talk about Singularity Rupture?
Yeah, what the fuck is that card?
Destroy all creatures that any number of target players each mill half their library rounded down.
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah.
So I do believe that this is once again a good card, but it's way too overhyped.
Mm-hmm.
So milling sucks. It does have a combo with River Churn Monument. If you go mill everyone halfway, everyone takes their next draw step. Next turn, you go River Churn Monument, activate it. Everyone mills cards equal to the number of cards in their graveyard.
Yeah.
That's a combo. You can also use it to self-mill. 6 mana for that is a lot to destroy all boards and then mill any number of target players half. 6 mana is a lot for a Wrath. It's a lot. And it's destroy all creatures. It doesn't hit like non-lands. It's like we're paying Farewell's level of mana for like a Wrath of God worse than Toxic Deluge in your colors kind of effect.
Right, you are playing this to set up either a mill win condition, or if I could speak to the other stinky reanimator players out here, you're doing this to set up for like a breach turn to pre-guarantee that good creatures are in the graveyard, or for like a Rise of the Dark Realms, or something that is going to let you steal from all these graveyards. But yeah, 6 for a Wrath, like, if you're using it to protect yourself, you are probably 1 to 3 mana past the point at which you needed the help.
Yeah, this does not go in your deck now if you did not already run Traumatize, if you did not already run Cut Your Losses. If you were already running those cards, then Singularity Rupture is good. But this isn't a new, hey, oh my gosh, this now goes in my Dimir control deck. No, unless you were already running the Traumatize before. Like, if you cared about traumatizing yourself, then yes, Singularity Rupture is a good card. But if you didn't care about traumatizing yourself, then it should be part of the conversation.
Oh, we have good context for the nutrient block question. They had misread it as whenever any artifact is put into the graveyard from the battlefield, draw a card. Yeah, you know what? That makes... Hey, that card, yeah, put it in all your treasure decks.
That would be better than Skull Clamp.
For the 10 seconds before that card gets banned out of every format, run that in your treasure decks. That is
restricted
unfortunately
in vintage.
Right.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna go back to the previous slide really quick because there are a couple cards that I want to throw up there that I actually do think are rather cool. I just have 2 left in my folder of hate. Number 1, 0 Point Ballad.
Oh, yeah.
So, for those that don't know, there's a card called Necromantic Selection. I think it's 4 black, destroy all creatures, and then you get to put a creature destroyed that way onto the battlefield under your control. Yeah. And then you exile Necromantic Selection. 0 Point Ballad doesn't exile itself. So this is prime for Archaeomancer loops. If you have Eternal Witness,
they're talking about flickering the sorceries. No.
This also steals commanders, just like Necromantic Selection did.
Yeah.
Because there's no break here. There is no point in which state-based actions are checked on 0 Point Ballad for the commander to go back into the command zone.
Yeah. You get robbery. Yeah, and as Sudsball points out, it's another way to be like, oh fuck, the token player is causing me problems. 2 mana, you're gone.
Oh my gosh, yeah, for sure. It's at that point it's just a what's it called? Oh no, is it Pest Extermination? What's the Orzhov 2 mana sorcery? Chat will know.
Something like that.
Chatters love bad cards like that.
Also, DFZ, thank you for the 100 bits. My Rowan Scion of War deck is gonna love 0 Point Ballad. Oh boy, yeah, it is.
Yeah, pest control, thank you. I knew chat would know.
Thank you for the earlier 100 bits about, oh, I've convinced you to buy Buster Sword. I'm sad that you bought it, but I'm glad you have it. Good job, bestie.
Kind of ending on a middling note here, by the way. It's not the most exciting card, but it's a card that is pretty strong. Feels like it might be overlooked by aristocrat players out there, but there's the Timeline Color. It's a very good Magic.
Oh yeah, 1 mana, get a guy back. This is more Phyrexian Altar infinite. Not technically infinite because you have to pay life down.
Yeah, you need like 2 Blood Artist effects. How are they ever going to do that?
Right, yeah, but like, it's got, like this is because there was actually, like, we joke about how the aristocrat players are spoon-fed, and you are, but they tend to not be as spoon-fed in this specific niche of low mana creature that I can get out of my graveyard really easily. Like, there's Gravecrawler, there is Forsaken Miner, there is, I think some people are trying to do it with like Cauldron Familiar, and I think there's maybe 1 more, and the rest of them are like Reassembling Skeleton or stuff that actually it costs enough mana to break down the loop quickly, versus Timeline Color with Phyrexian Altar is just that loop is going as long as you have life. And if you have Sephiroth, you have the life.
Yeah, major point with multiple Blood Artists versus multiple Phyrexian altar style or like Pitiless Plunderer style effects. You need Pitiless Plunderer Ashnod's Altar to make a reassembling skeleton go infinite. It is way harder to have 2 mana on death things than it is to have 2 drain things.
Mm-hmm.
So Timeline Color is very good for those infinite style decks, but even outside of those infinite style decks, in any deck that cares about non-token creature sacrificing, oh my gosh, something like, Evan Do Brush
You
Razors.
motherfucker.
The point is this is a very good creature to recur on top of your Bloodghast, on top of your Forsaken Miner if you have a lot of crimes like Blood Artist or Forsaken Brood Witch or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
And Brood Witch, wait, no, that's Aqua Teen Hunger Force. Blood Witch. Vengeful Blood Witch is the name of the card. And then, yeah, just having another 1 black thing that comes back. Like, I'm still running Reassembling Skeleton, and this might finally push it out of my list.
Yeah, I think this could push Reassembling Skeleton out of a ton of decks, quite frankly. Okay, I think that is where I'm going to need to cut it, because I have to run to a different filming. Elk, thank you very much for being here. What is the name of the new YouTube video everybody should go watch? It's very cool and entertaining.
It is, does your EDH deck contain these overplayed cards? Something along those lines.
It probably does. And you can fight with Elk about Chaos Warp and why you should run really good and universally strong cards like Ash Barons instead. I'm also going to remind everybody to use code MAULD at Cool Stuff Inc. if you want to buy trading card stuff, because I'm sponsored by them. It'll get you 5% off, and they will throw crumbs at me for it. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for today's roasties. I'll be live again tomorrow at noon doing more deck roasting. Elk, are you going to keep streaming, or are you also done?
I need to go to my first of 3 pre-releases.
Oh, right. Your first of the 3 releases. So I'm going to... I'll find someone else. Nobody else is live, because presumably everybody I know is doing pre-releases. Hold on. We'll figure this out.
I'll check who I'm following. Maldhound's live.
You piece of shit. You goddamn. You think you're clever.
Same category.
Lime Alicious. I will look at who that is. They have 2.2 thousand viewers. We don't matter to them. I want to make somebody's day, not be a drop in their bucket.
Let's see. Oh my god, Benjamin Wheeler's playing Chandelar. Are you fucking kidding?
Oh shit, Ben Wheeler's live?
No, he isn't anymore. I'm gonna cry. There's no way.
God damn you.
I was so excited. Someone was playing Chandelar. I'm going to play Chandelar in stream sometime. That's a vow.
I hear
He
me,
must have
please.
just
Lore
gone
Supply,
offline.
I don't see you live on Twitch right now. Is Northern Lion live? I'm sure. Oh, yes. I'm sure Northern Lion needs the help the most.
Yeah. There was one time where I couldn't find anyone to raid. I just raided Jerma.
I don't see Haywo online. Although I typed him into the search bar, so maybe I fucked that up. Hold on, let me look. Oh, I can check similar or smaller size. Okay.
Yeah.
That's, wow, why didn't I do that? Why didn't I ever do that before?
Yeah, I like same category, similar or smaller size. Uber Guitar Dude's playing some Commander on Tabletop Simulator, very based.
No, we can't reward that behavior.
Yeah, exactly.
Word.
Ooh. Yeah, it sucks when no one's live, huh?
All right,
Everyone's
we're gonna do Alec Man's suggestion of Frost Prime. I don't want to do the Indestructible Justin raid message. I don't know how comfortable I feel spamming somebody's chat when I have no rapport with them.
You should. He's playing a game called He Is Coming, so you can all spam He Is Edging.
No. I'm not more comfortable with fuck it, do the indestructible Justin rant. Do the indestructible Justin rant. Be kind. I will see you all tomorrow. Thank you for coming. Elk, thank you for being on. Go watch Elk's video. Go use my code if you were already going to buy stuff. If you weren't going to buy stuff, save your money. Proxy the set. I love you all. Thank you for being here. And please remember to stay toxic. YouTube and TikTok, that's just it for us.